Eric, so happy to be bringing you yet another rendition of Longview Lobo football. We're coming to you, of course, here on Longview game day, and it is finally here, the district opener, and the Lobos are on the road. They're here in Mesquite, and they're getting ready to take on the West Mesquite Wranglers.
At the biggest high school stadium in Texas. There's no high school stadium that is purely high school that holds more than this place, 19,400 seating, and tonight I don't think we'll be using it all.
It looks like there'll be plenty of opportunities if you would like to come to the game in case you, got a late start.
Yeah, if you got a late start, come on. But if not, we're going to bring the action to you here live from Mesquite tonight at West Mesquite, one of the 5 high schools here in Mesquite, and they've been around since the mid-'80s, and not an opponent that folks in East Texas hadn't seen before. They often get put into a district with East Texas opponents.
And they're coming in with a 2-2 record. The two teams have met only one time. That was last year. First time they were district opponents, and that was a 49-24 Lobo win back on October the 23rd. A 28-point second quarter really kind of set the tone as the Lobos ran away, courtesy of 6 turnovers by West Mesquite as well to make that a rout. And so we're into the first game of district. I guess we got to go back a week, though, and do a little recap before we go forward. The Lobos, of course, knocked off 3-time defending 7A Arkansas State champion, the Bryant Hornets, ended a 32-game winning streak, and kept a very impressive record for a homecoming for John King. I think the Lobos have now won 25 of their last 26 home games. He's pretty dominant there. And a program note, last week's win was the 750th victory for Longview football. So going back to 1909, 750 wins. There are only 7 other programs in the state that have that number. I'll count them from 7 to 1. Refugio, Brownswood, Plano, Temple, Mart, Amarillo, and Highland Park.
It's an impressive list to be on, so kudos to the Lobos for hitting number 750.
Yeah, they come into this with a 3-1 record now for John King. In openers in district play, this is 18th year for John King. The Lobos are 15-2 over that time. We said earlier West Mesquite is 2-2 on the year now. They were only 1-9 last year, so they've already doubled last year's win total. Could really be better. They lost a game late to Mesquite Poteet, losing 22-19. And maybe last week's game was a bigger heartbreak. They played on Thursday last week as well. Had Keller Timber Creek down 28-6. And ultimately let that game slip away and lost it 40-35. So they're 2-2. They probably should be 3-1. They could be 4-0, and they're looking for nothing more than to open up district play, beat the Lobos, and get themselves in a conversation about a playoff spot.
Well, I watched a little highlight video package this week from a couple of their ball games. They spread it out. Mm-hmm. They moved the ball well. Quarterback doesn't have a particularly strong arm, but he's relatively accurate on most occasions that I witnessed on the package that I watched. And so it looks like they can move the ball. They can score some points, but they've also given up some points to everybody other than Poteet.
Yeah, they have losses on their or scores on their record. They lost to Poteet 22-19. They beat Waco 34-17. They beat Fort Worth Chisholm Trail 57-36. So they've put up some big numbers. They've given up some pretty impressive big numbers as well. We'll see. Longview 3-1, having lost the opener to Denton Ryan 40-7, had the shutout against Marshall in week 2, 14-0. Beat Tyler Legacy 46-20, and if you disrespect the Arkansas team, you weren't paying attention. It was a very good Bryant Hornet team, and they beat them 24-21. Ends the winning streak for Bryant and gets them set up to start district play with a 3-game winning streak. But it did not come without some cost. There are at least 5, and it may be as many as 6 offensive starters that are not playing tonight, which is really hard to believe that the offense has been hit that hard. We saw last week Taylor Tatum was out. He's not going to play again this week. They also lost Elijah Johnson. He's out for at least a week. Ethan Pulte, who had been the right guard, he's going to be out. DeQuaylen Vaughn, who had been some left tackle and some tight end, he is out. And maybe the worst of all, Josh Thomas was in a walking boot this week. He is not playing. So you've gone from your starting tailback, one of at least maybe two of your starting offensive linemen, and now your starting quarterback, all down for the district opener. So as a result, we're certainly going to see Jordan Allen, and we're also going to see, for the first time this year, Andrew Tutt, the sophomore quarterback, who's been working with the ones. He'll certainly be on the field some tonight, you would expect, and it's going to be a kind of new-look offense for the Lobos, who have a bunch of new faces out there.
Well, we saw Allen come in the second half last week, really kind of take charge of things late in that ball game. Thomas had gotten a start. To be honest, struggled a little in the passing game last week. A lot of that had to do with Bryant. They had a very good pass rush, solid secondary play. Josh Allen came in, kind of put the ball in the hands of the running backs. He ran in some, but it was the running game in the second half last week that really won the game for him, I thought.
Yeah, no question. And the defense,
yeah,
which just was outstanding. They have been very fortunate on that side. Other than Tadarian Boone, everybody else has been good to go. And you'll see down on the field the coin flip going on. And that is something that was won by the Wranglers. They have deferred to the second half, which means it's going to be Lobo football to start the game. Other games going on this weekend. They're not going on tonight, so we don't have to worry about watching the scoreboard. It'll be McKinney North at Tyler. Sherman is at Wiley East, and Highland Park has the night and the weekend off this week. So it's a short schedule for 7-5A Division I. And it looks like the Lobos are going to get the ball first, and we're about ready to start a football game. We got a little more pregame stuff going on, but for all intents and purposes, we know that the white-clad Lobos are going to get to have the ball first. Of course, John King is the head coach at Longview. We saw him pick up win number 192 last week. His counterpart on the other side tonight, younger coach Frank Sandoval. He was a couple of years, 3 years as head coach at Mahia, and got hired for this job in 2020. So he's got his second year under his belt, or going into his second year under his belt here at West Mesquite, where he's struggling to get wins so far.
Well, he must have preceded Tristan Abram over at Bahia, because he left Paul Pewitt to take that job about that time, so that would make sense. If you're not familiar with the West Mesquite Wranglers, only the second time Longview's played them, there's a reason they're called Wranglers.
What's that?
Well, this area that's around West Mesquite High School that's right attached to the stadium here used to belong to the rodeo arena here in town. And so if you're familiar with the individual Donnie Gay and the Mesquite Rodeo, this used to be part of their land holdings back in the day, and that's where the name Wranglers comes from. It was actually part of the setup of the rodeo property back here in the day.
And we're going to struggle a little bit with them. You can see them coming out onto the field right now with their black uniforms and silver numbers on the back. The burnt orange is one of their colors in the color scheme, but it doesn't show up very much, so it's going to be a little bit of a struggle to make sure we get numbers right for you, but we'll be able to see the white and green of the Lobos perfectly well.
And that's the one most folks on our broadcast will care about, and we will get you the proper names when the Lobos have the ball or who's making the tackle.
And we remind you, like and share this broadcast if you're watching us. We're going to get out of the way. They're about to do the national anthem. We'll let them do that, and we'll come back and talk more when they're done.
Hey there. Back thing over there.
Now, fans, if you'll please rise and move your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, as we get set for the opening kickoff, how about the starting lineups for the two teams on offense? What we know, and there may be some changes. Again, there was another lineman that may not play tonight as a starter, but Jax Norman is listed as the left tackle, Mongo Williams as the left guard, Tavion Morgan is the center. Blair Williams is getting the start at right guard. The 6'2", 325-pound junior will be in for Ethan Pulte. Martin Guerrero is the right tackle, Victor Bush the tight end. Wide receivers are Jalen Hale and Jartaven Wright. The fullback is Isaiah Harris. The tailback is going to be Jarrett Lewis. And Jordan Allen getting the start at quarterback tonight for the Lobos. Defensively, they'll be facing this defensive line: Willie Williams, Adrian Velasquez, Nick Singleton, and Xavier Parker. The linebackers are Trey Cunningham, Abrian Salome, and Matthew Amaya. Corners are Dylan Galloway and Bryson Walker. The safeties Isaac Sandoval and Chris Scott. And we'll set up the other side when the Lobos go back on defense. But going back deep for Longview tonight will be Amarian Hamilton, and he's joined back there by DeKalen Taylor. And Taylor's going to be the backup at tailback tonight because of Elijah Johnson being out. So we're actually down to what would be the fourth tailback in the Lobo offense, and they're so thin at the moment. Willie Nelson is listed as the third tailback, the sophomore cornerback.
Willie's done a good job returning some kicks this year. He looks like a very elusive runner, but still not having had those reps. You just worry about handoffs and all, particularly out of that I formation.
Oscar Valles is going to kick, and here comes the opening kick. It's short, and it will be grabbed by Hamilton at the 19-yard line. Up the middle, 35, and will be drugged down at the 37-yard line, and that is where Longview is going to start on offense tonight.
Yeah, nice field position to get started. It'll be interesting to see. We've seen Coach King and his offensive staff at times look deep early in ball games. When you've got a talent like Jalen Hale, there's a little temptation sometimes to see if the secondary is paying attention. We'll see as they come out here, and it looks like going to be the gun to start the game.
And it will indeed be Jordan Allen out there at quarterback. First down and 10. Jarrett Lewis is set up to his right with Victor Bush in motion, and back to pass goes Allen, looking for Hale deep, caught at the 35-yard line. How about a first play 63-yard touchdown from Jordan Allen to Jalen Hale, and it's 6-0 Lobos.
Well, I hate to say I told you so, but we've seen this a couple of times this year where this run-oriented offense likes to see early on how much respect they're showing Jalen Hale. That time it was not enough. And so it was a pretty simple pitch and catch for the Lobos to score on the first play from scrimmage.
Hale's 5th touchdown of the year, his 19th overall. He has now again broken the tie with Malcolm Kelly's standing alone as the number 3 touchdown-making receiver of all time. Point after up and good by Michael Fields, and it's 7-0 Lobos. We are just 17 seconds into the game, and we're going to keep it here after the Lobos' first play touchdown.
Well, if you're West Mesquite, you're just kind of...
Oh, we're going to look at the replay.
Oh,
that's what we're going to give you. Oh,
okay.
Yeah, let's take a look. Allen with that little half rollout, and it's man coverage only. And sorry, but you got no chance out there on your own.
Yeah, no safety help at all. The corner unfortunately got beat. Got a hand on him, but unfortunately they were not playing two below or tag, and Hale just turned. And once again, even as he goes into the end zone, it doesn't look like he hits full speed. It's like he's just at times toying with secondary people this year who've tried to cover him.
That's an easy drive summary. One play, 63 yards. Would they take about 9 seconds, 10 seconds off the clock? And just like that, the Lobos have the lead.
And we were mentioning, if you're West Mesquite, you're a little shell-shocked here. If you give up that touchdown so easy, you just kind of got to compose yourself and hit the restart button.
All right, well, Michael Fields on to kickoff. Wranglers have a couple of guys back at around the 10-yard line, and Fields is going to go back all the way to the 5 with this kick. It's grabbed at the 5, coming to the middle of the field, and not much more than about the 17-yard line. Gabriel Corona on the kick return for the Wranglers, as he's brought down by Devin Isaac, and it'll start at the 17, will be the first drive of West Mesquite tonight.
Yeah, good kick that time. It drove the return man down to the 5. They'd lined up about the 10. When you've got that backward momentum. It is hard to kind of get your speed back up. And excellent kick coverage by the Lobos, and so not very good field position for the Wranglers as they get started here from their own 17-yard line.
All right, we'll set the offense-defense here in a second. Let's do the first down. It's quarterback Craig Dale, though, who's back in the gun. He's going to start things off. He'll have Kanan Durden on one side of him, and in fact, he's going to hand off to Durden on the first carry. That's number 16 up to about the 19-yard line for a 2-yard gain. Offensive line has Trey Mitchell as a 6'5", 290 senior at left tackle. Artavion Brown is next to him at left guard. Isel Enriquez is the center. Josh Jackson Sr. is the right guard, and Joseph Gonzalez, a 265-pound senior, is the right tackle. TJ Turner, watch for him. He's kind of a tight end hybrid. He goes 6'3", 200 pounds. Javion Jackson, Gabriel Corona, Devin Duncan are the primary receivers. Kanan Durden, Elijah Dancy, and Roderick Malcolm could all be in the backfield. And on second down and 8, back to pass, and this one's way up in the air, aired out. A little pushing and shoving going on, but no flag as Willie Nelson's back there on the coverage with TJ Turner, and it'll bring up third down and 8.
Tell you what, we brag on these sophomore corners all the time. Nelson and Jaden Simmons both do an outstanding job. That time, similar to the play we saw on the score for the Lobos, single coverage out there, and Willie just did a good job of sticking with the receiver. A little hand battling going on, but officials didn't have a problem with that, and so now it's going to be 3rd and 9.
Here's the defense. Billy Smith, Leonard Epps, and Jesse Fairchild, the starting defensive linemen. Jeremiah Rugley had a huge game last week. On 3rd down and 8, back to pass, and that one's intercepted at the 33-yard line. Lobos are going to take it right back, and the first interception of the night belongs to number 16. We had this last week and didn't have him on our program. We're going to have to figure out who just intercepted that ball.
Yeah, we got to figure out who 16 is. He did a great job coming over. I don't know if he was the outside linebacker, if that's who's filling in for Boone over there, and he kind of drifted back, but either way, he read it when the ball was in the air, broke on it. Short field now for the Lobos.
All right, well, that was easy enough. A 3-play drive and a very short field to start things at the 34-yard line. On first down, how about another pass attempt? This way high for right as Allen misses him on the slant. It's 2nd down and 10. Yeah,
that just was not a very good throw that time. We talked about before, Jordan Allen is probably not the better passer of the two, but with Joshua Thomas out tonight, he's probably going to get some opportunities to throw the ball. You mentioned they've got a sophomore. We expect to see some action. But here early on, it's going to be Jordan Allen. 2nd down and 10, but they've got 3 to pick up the first.
All right, so 2nd down. This is a handoff inside. That is the fullback, Isaiah Harris, for a couple of yards up to about the 32-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, we usually see when they're in the eye, Harris is at the fullback. When they're in the gun, he's there beside him. And nice 4-yard gain there. And as we've said, this is 4-down territory. You wouldn't expect them to try a field goal this far out, but certainly not going to punt the ball down on this short end of the field.
All right, so 3rd down and 7 at the 31-yard line. 10-11 to play in the first quarter. It's already a 7-0 Longview lead. And they'll go inside again to Harris. He's going to power his way near the 24-yard line. That's where he needed the first down. And at the end, it looked like he wasn't going to get there, but that last little lean may have been enough. They haven't moved the chains yet, but
I think we got a flag on the play. That's why they hadn't moved the chains. We'll see what the white hat has to tell us here. Looks like it's going to sideline warning.
Yeah. Tends to be a thing. We get sideline warnings, it seems like, every game. And so it's going to be 4th and short. He got almost all that he needed.
The head linesman motioned originally 1st down, but after they respotted the ball, they've decided it's going to be 4th and short.
So 4th down and inches. Ball sitting actually on the green past the 25-yard line, but they need the 24. So you're about a half yard away from the first down. I formation this time. Lewis is the tailback. And he's going to get the football right up the middle. He's got a first down, breaks the tackle, and crossed the 20 to the 18-yard line. There's a first down for the Lobos.
Yeah, fortunate they didn't break that thing all the way to the house. He broke the initial line of scrimmage and looked like for a moment he may break away. First time tonight, I think they've been under center. They went straight I formation under center that time with the short and less than a half a yard there and just blew it open.
Lewis had 132 yards last week on 18 carries. He's had 2 straight starts and 100 yards on both of them. He'll get a handoff here on first down at the 18-yard line. And again, he kind of squeaks through a little opening and makes his way down to the 12 for about a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, they go back to that I formation once again, go back under center. No fullback on the alignment. They had kind of edged over with a bit of a wing back there, and they ended up going to that strong side, and nice yardage on first down. Looks like about 6, almost 7 yards.
2nd down and 4 coming up. 8 minutes, 35 seconds to play in the first quarter. Both receivers split out left this time. Back to pass goes Allen. Man coverage. He's looking for Hale. Wide open in the corner of the end zone. That's just like stealing. And it's a 13-0 Lobo lead on the 12-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, not sure if they did a crossing pattern there with he and Wright, or they had him in the slot and just brought him down and out on the play. We'll watch the replay if we get a chance here. But, yeah, it looks like they've got him in the slot, and then they just go down, push the corner back, and it's single coverage with the 2 men on the left side.
Mesquite is playing with fire if they're going to play single all night long. Michael Fields for the point after. That's up and good. It's 14-0. Lobos lead, 8:25 left to play in the first quarter. You're watching Longview Game Day.
At Godarzi and Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
Well, it didn't take long. Just 4 plays after the, or 5 plays rather, after the interception. The Lobos punch it in. It is a 34-yard drive, took 5 plays, and with 8:25 to play in the first quarter, it has been all Lobos so far.
Well, they were forced to convert on the 4th down. That was really not that difficult. They finally went under center and just ran it right over them, and good start here for the Lobos.
All right, kick is going to come down inside the 10-yard line to about the 8. That, again, is brought out not even close to the 20-yard line by Corona. And the Lobos just all over him. They'll say he made it to the 15-yard line, and that is all.
I'll tell you what, almost identical to the last kickoff, other than starting at the 17. Looks like they're going to be on about the 15. Once again, they're lining up their return men on the 10-yard line. They're having a backpedal to go get the ball. That takes away any possible momentum. You would think after seeing the first kick, they would have backed him up around the goal line, at least let him get a running start at that. But if they're going to continue to do that, I suspect they're going to see that same kick over and over.
How about we do this? 16 is Drake Mayfield, who got the interception on the last drive. They slipped him into the roster last week, and we didn't have a new roster. We got one now, though, and so that's who the 16 is. First down at the 15-yard line. This is quarterback all the way. Breaks a couple of tackles and spins his way down to about the 28, 29-yard line. That's Craig Dale on the carry, and it'll be enough for a first down.
Just zone read, made the right read that time, and it was pretty wide open for him. He stumbled a little as he got to the line of scrimmage, but eventually gained his balance and had a lot of open field, and so nice first down gain for the Wranglers.
It's been their best play so far tonight as it comes with 7:55 to play in the first quarter. That was a 12-yard run, and it's first down for the Wranglers now. And in motion, that's Jesus Nino. Back to pass is the quarterback. Dale throws it high, and I'll tell you what, his receiver saved an interception because if TJ Turner doesn't get a hand on that, Chase Smith is going to the house.
Yeah, I agree. Buddha even had a shot at it for a moment. He kind of lowered his shoulders, fixed to hit him, and Turner got just enough of it to keep it away from the Lobo secondary.
Rest of the defense, by the way, for the Lobos. We got you the defensive line. Billy Smith, Leonard Epps, Jesse Fairchild, Jeremiah Rugley, Devin Isaac, Caden Brooks, Chase Smith are the linebackers. Willie Nelson, Jaden Simmons are the corners. And the safeties are Buda Garrett and Kylan Sublett as Elijah Dancy takes that out to around the 32-yard line for a gain of 5.
Dale's got some talent as a ball handler. He does a pretty good job of running out the fake that time. Part of the defense continued to go with him even though he had given the ball away. So You always want your quarterback to be good at sleight of hand when you're running those multiple option looks.
That third down coming up. You'll notice we still don't have Tadarian Boone out there. That's the guy you really want to get back on this defense is Boone, but it's Drake Mayfield right now that's got that spot as the outside backer. So on 3rd down and 5, just under 7 minutes to play in the quarter, they're going to hand off inside, and there is nothing doing there. Couple of yards to the 32-yard line, and that is all she wrote. And again, it is Elijah Dancy on the cover on the carry, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 3.
Yeah, that's that zone read, and when you end up just handing the ball off to the running back on 3rd and 5, and he gets a 2-yard gain, it looks a little unimaginative, especially when you've got a quarterback with athleticism of Dale, and could have possibly got him out in space, but instead he goes to the inside handoff that just doesn't bear the fruit they were hoping for.
TJ Turner is back to punt. Low snap. He's got to go get it on the short hop. Gets a nice kick out of there as it drives Smith back. He'll make a awkward fair catch at the 30-yard line, and that is where the Lobos will take over for the 3rd time tonight. At the 30, with exactly 6:07 left to play in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, Chase Smith took that one above the pads. You usually don't want your return man to do that. You want to kind of cradle it when it comes down on a punt, but Smith looked like an old outfielder there as he just kind of reached up and grabbed that. This is a 30-yard line, and I believe this is the worst field position the Lobos have had tonight.
It is. They were at the 37 on the first drive. So with a 14-0 lead, Lobos going to flood the defense to the right side, and somebody's going to take a little bit of an early jump as Amarian Hamilton missed the snap count and got going without everybody else.
Well, he struggled a little. At first he thought he may have lined up all sides, and he kind of rocked back, and then as he did, he kind of, I think, misheard the snap and just took off, and that's going to make it a 1st and 15.
So a little dead ball penalty on the Lobos, and 1st and 15 is up and coming.
Let's see, Taylor checks out. Looks like, didn't get the number who came in there, but either way, as usual, John King pulls his quarterback over to the side, talks to him, and sends him in with the play.
All right, so 1st down and 15 now, back at the 25-yard line. Going inside, handoff to Harris, and he will get back to the original line of scrimmage, or just shy of it at the 29-yard line.
Talk about Harris. When they're in that eye and they have a fullback, he's usually that fullback, but he's versatile, and he can move back there more of a halfback position when they're running out of the gun like they have mostly tonight.
Checking back into Kalen Taylor, 5'7", 150-pound senior. He will split out into the slot left. Hale's outside of him. Hamilton's outside of the two of them. So on 2nd down and about 11, Jordan Allen didn't like something, started to walk away, now goes back. Play clock still down to 6. He goes back to pass. Got a man wide open. That's Taylor. Caught at the 30. He will be across the 40, down the sideline, out of bounds on the Wrangler side of the field at the 45-yard line. Thank you for the 26 yards on the 1st down for the Lobos.
Well, I don't think he didn't like something. I think he saw something he really liked. He saw 3 receivers out there, and they really hadn't brought anybody over there to help on that. And it was easy pickings when they pushed the 2 receivers downfield and left that 3rd receiver uncovered. And when he got in space, he really embarrassed one of the defenders.
You know, right now, that's the problem for the Wranglers. They cannot stay with Longview receivers. 1st down, back to pass again. Bush was open. He got around the defender. He didn't see him. He goes to the outlet instead to Harris. He'll have a 1st down before he steps out of bounds at the 27-yard line for a gain of another 18.
Tell you what, West Mesquite seems determined to stay in this base set against these triplet receivers, and that time they had multiple receivers on either side, and that's just going to leave that open all night long.
Jordan Allen is going to have some amazing stats at the end of the night if this keeps up. We're just 7 minutes into this quarter. He's got 2 touchdowns already, and to be honest with you, if he had actually looked at Victor Bush, he would have had a 3rd one. 1st down at the 27-yard line. They'll go fullback dive. That's Harris, who will plunge forward to about the 20-yard line for a gain of 6. They'll put him down at the 21.
Yeah, we mentioned when they go to the eye and they operate with a fullback, he's usually that up back. And as we mentioned mostly every week, that's your off speed there out of the eye. You're predominantly going to give the ball to the deep back, but every so often you run that little dive with the fullback to keep defenses honest.
Lewis checking out of the game for the Lobos. We'll see if they bring Taylor in there as the tailback. Actually, they're going to empty the backfield except for Harris again. The fullback's the only guy in. Allen under center, and again we got guys who left a little bit early. This time it was Jamerson Derensberg, the backup tight end. He got the jump that time, and so we'll go back 5 yards.
That's unfortunate, but you still got 3 downs to pick up a first at the end of the field where you feel that you're not going to kick a field goal.
So we'll redo second down in 9. 4:26 left to play in the first quarter. 14-0. Lobos with the lead. They have scored on their first 2 possessions. And Lewis is back in the game at tailback. And he's going to get the deep handoff, makes a little move, spins, and goes back to the original line of scrimmage at the 21-yard line where it's going to be 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, that time the Wranglers tried to tackle the football, and Lewis did a good job of slowing him, protecting the ball, and spinning out of that. Good positive yards. We saw this a while ago on their second drive after they had the short field after the interception. They got in a second and about 8. And they went back to the I formation, just ran it 3 times to pick up the first. We'll see if they stick to that game plan.
3rd down and 4. 3:40 to play in the first quarter. And again, Allen's going to start and then decide, no, we're going to take the timeout. So with 3:36 to play in the first quarter, we'll take a break. 14-0 Longview here on Longview Game Day.
And now at Orr, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at Orr Cadillac GMC in Longview.
Kinds of problems, and it's a turnover and we'll go in the other direction. The Wranglers are going to outrun everybody to the end zone to make this a 14-6 ball game. And on the recover is Willie Williams, who takes the thing that started with a pitch that was just a little bit behind Jarrett Lewis, and they just got the Wranglers back in this game.
Well, we don't see them run a lot of quick pitch out of that I formation. They're usually a handoff team. That time the exchange just wasn't there. The timing wasn't there, and it hit the turf. Both players tried to go get it, the quarterback and the I-back. Neither one of them were able to secure the ball. And a scoop and score results in this game tightening up 14-7, or 6, with the extra point to come.
Yeah, that is a 65-yard fumble recovery for Willie Williams. Point after try coming now. And that one's blocked. Lobos got it. Looks like Simmons and Isaac were in there together. Hard to tell which one got it. But either Jaden Simmons or Devin Isaac got there first and blocked the point after, so we'll stay at 14-6 with 3:20 left to play here in the first quarter.
Well, a little sobering moment for the Lobos, who were on cruise control. Looked like they were on their way to their 3rd straight score. We're going to get the replay here as Frank gets it set up for us. Just a mishandling of the pitch there, and inability of either Longview player to get it results in the defender picking it up and really not being pushed on his way to the end zone.
Yeah, if we're being specific, it probably was a 66-yard scoop instead of 65, but either way, it's 6 points for the Wranglers. Special teams do their job and block the point after to keep it an 8-point lead, but that's one of those self-inflicted wounds as the Lobos were driving for what looked like just to be an early huge advantage. Instead, now they got to play a little longer.
That's one of those, if you're the Lobos, you want to get out of your system in September against what early on appears to be a bit of an inferior opponent. You don't want that to show up in late October, November.
All right, so we make it a 14-6 ball game. Wranglers are going to kick back off, back deep for the Lobos are Hamilton and Taylor. This is a short kick, but it's coming down, grabbed at the 20 by Hamilton. He's to the 30, and that's as far as he's going to go.
the pooch-style directional kick, and it did what it was supposed to. It hung up in the air long enough to get the coverage team an opportunity to get down there and get on the ball. Hamilton fielded it clean, didn't throw up the fair catch, knew he had plenty of time to get under it and get 5 yards, and once again they start on the 30. It's where they started with their third drive, do so with the fourth drive, hoping for a better result.
All right, well, again, a little bit of extra work now coming up for Longview.
Well, they just refused to change their set.
And on first down, Harris right up the middle. He'll rumble for 9. 2nd and a yard coming up.
That time they came out with the trips right again. Finally, a linebacker slid over there late, but when he did, they ran underneath it. And so I don't know if that was intentional to pull them over there, but if they keep trying to cover that inside receiver with a linebacker, we're going to see him look deep again.
Yeah, that's going to be a long, long night for guys in the secondary. Going to be a lot of running and a lot of chasing. So 2nd down and a yard, ball on the 39-yard line. Longview with the 14-6 lead. Hale in motion, back to pass. Allen got a little pressure, and he's not going anywhere. Dropped back at the 32-yard line. That's really a coverage sack.
Yes.
As Adrian Velasquez gets the credit for that sack back at the 32 for a loss of 7. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
Well, they pushed 2 receivers downfield on crossing routes. That's where the traffic was. Hale was here on the far side in the flat by himself. Unfortunately, Allen never found him.
All right. 3rd down and what now looks to be about 7 back at the 33-yard line.
Really, all options are on the table. They've looked good out of the eye. They've looked good out of the gun tonight. They're going to go 3rd and long out of the I formation. I'll be honest, I'm not surprised.
So 3rd down, and we got flags and whistles before we ever get going, and they had receivers going deep. They had 2 fly routes going, and the whistle stopped that.
Now, it looks like it's Longview's timeout. They saw something they didn't like that time. On the far side, they were going to get safety help. I didn't notice here on the near side if that looks like where Hale was taken off from, if they were going to get safety help.
Well, they didn't get a timeout. They got a 5-yard penalty.
They did.
Yeah, they got hit with 5 yards.
Well, you'll be surprised if they come back in the eye here. We'll see if they go back to those trip receivers. They had a little luck earlier throwing underneath, pushing 2 of the receivers downfield. Looks like they'll have multiple receivers on the far side and 1 here on the near side.
So what's now going to be a 3rd down and 12. Allen back to pass. He's got wheel route, but instead he's going deep for right, overthrew him and almost picked off by Bryson Walker, who was back there, and it's going to come up to 4th down.
Well, they decided to go with max protection that time.
And we got a flag down again. This one is actually about 7 or 8 yards down the field, which may be a spot for defensive holding, and sure enough.
It's going to be all sides, looks like.
Oh, it was. Well, that was a weird flag.
Yeah, that's a weird position for an all-sides penalty, but it will get the 5 yards back that they had given away, and so now we go back to where we were moments ago with a 3rd and about 7.5, 8 yards. Looks like they'll go back with the I formation once again.
Been a weird series here. We've had all kinds of issues here. We've had a 9-yard gain. We've had a sack. We've had a penalty. A couple of yard run, another penalty, and we're back now to 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, I was wrong. They come back out in the gun.
Back to pass, Allen. In trouble, sets up the screen. That's caught at the 34-yard line. Victor Bush, and there's a late penalty, and we may get a block that's going to be considered illegal down there. 51 is Christian Arnett, and he maybe get flagged right at the end of that play.
See if we can get a replay on that possibly, see what the call was there late. I don't know if it was a block in the back or, yeah, that's a block in the back. That's a pretty easy one to call right there. Unfortunately, great job of setting up the screen, but that's going to take it away.
Well,
they call it a hold.
It's a spot foul. So we're going to go from the 42-yard line where the penalty happened, and they'll march the thing back to the 32, which is basically where it was anyway, and it's going to be 3rd down and 8 this time.
Yeah, Coach Sandoval was lobbying for a spot a little further back, but A little surprised they called that a hold instead of the block in the back. Either way, they mark it off, and deja vu all over again. We're third and about 7.5, 8 yards.
So back where we started, 3rd down and 8, 32-yard line. 1 minute left to play in this first quarter. 14-6, Lobos with the lead. This drive just not able to get any traction. 3 receivers right. Allen back to pass, going to go long again. He's got Wright back there. He goes up with 2 defenders, had it, and then lost it when he hit the ground, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, once again, he looked for the deep ball. Hale's short by himself over there. Let's see if we get a replay on this. Wright, for a moment, looked like he might be able to come down with it. Unfortunately, by the time he got hit and he hit the ground, the ball popped out.
Yeah, contact with the ground was the killer for Jartavian Wright that time, and so we're going to have to punt. Michael Fields will come on at the 18-yard line. Wranglers will send a man back to the 35. Good snap, all kinds of time. This one wobbles up there, hits the 45, and takes a Wrangler bounce to just the 47-yard line. So short punt, just 20 yards. And it's going to be first down Wranglers at their 48 with 43 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
Tell you what, last couple of weeks, last week they got 1 punt to roll their way. That was it. The others all backed up on them. Another one tonight. You figure the law of averages are, at some point, it's going to roll forward for you.
Yeah, not so far. Michael Fields didn't get any help on that one.
Yeah, good test this time for the Lobo defense. See if they can change the momentum of this game back to the Lobos.
First down and 10 Wranglers, 47-yard line. Handoff, that is to Durden. He's across the 50 to about the 47 for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down and 4.
A lot of zone read tonight. We see it again that time as Dale looks at the end, makes a decision to hand off underneath to the back, and excellent first down gain. And tell you what, you kind of think if they ever just settled in and kept doing that, they might be able to get something going here. As clock it looks like we're going to get one more play in before the quarter.
Yeah, they never ran the play clock, which still stands at 40 seconds. They never rewound it and started it. Handoff on second down, and trying to get little, and there's a flag that got thrown at the end of that. That tailback Durden was trying to get little and avoid all the rushers coming past him, but they held on and dropped him for no gain. But there is a flag that was thrown in at the end of that. And it looks like probably offensive holding.
Yeah, that may change the direction of what had been a good start to this drive. There's 5 seconds on the clock. We'll see if they restart the clock here before the quarter. Right now they're marking off the penalty, and so they go from second and short to second and long.
Yep, so second down after the 10-yard penalty. So we're back across now to the West Mesquite 43-yard line.
They're going to crank the clock, and that'll end the quarter.
All right, well, that's quarter number 1 in the books. 14-6, Lobos with the lead. We're going to take a break. We'll come back for the second quarter here on Longview Game Day.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At RJ Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond C. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Snap into savings with R&J Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com. We've got the hookup.
Again, production crew get dressed. So then let's see this again quickly.
All right, welcome back. Chuck, Zach, and Tony Kirk coming at you live from Mesquite Memorial Stadium, the district opener, and the Lobos looked so good for about the first 8 or 9 minutes of that first quarter, and then a fumbled pitch has kind of changed the momentum a little bit. A scoop and score touchdown for the Wranglers, a elongated 3 and out, and they're near midfield with a second down and long. Dale back to pass. That one's caught complete to Turner. Breaks a tackle across the 25. Drug down from behind. Here comes a flag for the horse collar. 1, 2, 3 of them thrown into the pile, and it's going to be first down around the 10-yard line for the Wranglers on the first play of the second quarter.
Yeah, I think that was Braggs. He tried to avoid the horse collar, just couldn't seem to do so. So a couple of flags came in late on that, but if he hadn't, I don't know if he wouldn't have just scored, but maybe this turns out to be one of those penalties you can save 4 points with.
Now they got the ball down to the 17-ish yard line. They'll move half the distance from there, so mark it down at the 8.5. So they'll put that ball down at the 8.5 yard line. We'll say the 9 officially.
Tell you what, that was a good-looking slant pattern that time. Unfortunately, the safety kind of stumbled and allowed that to become a big play.
So it's first down and goal, and not much happening on the first carry. It'll be second down coming up as Lobo defense all over that. Jesse Fairchild, first guy in to make the hit.
Yeah, we see Jesse make a lot of those type plays, just a strength play where he just beat his man and then muscled the back down to the ground. And so great first down defense that time by the Lobos, and they'd put a couple more of those together and see if they can keep them out of the end zone.
Well, I actually marked that forward to about the 7-yard line, so they got a couple yards out of that. And it'll be second down and goal. Dale, boy, it seemed like the Lobos were getting an early jump on that. Toss to the back of the end zone, but it's out of the back. Javion Jackson was the intended receiver. Willie Nelson on the coverage over there. And it's going to bring up third down.
Yeah, they anticipated a run that time and shot the backer through there, and he almost came across the line of scrimmage before the snap. But I don't think it had much of an effect on the pass play. Just wasn't a very good pass. He just threw it out of the back of the end zone.
Actually, that was Simmons over there. Excuse me. That was Jaden Simmons on the coverage. So it now brings up third down and goal. Lobos hustling a man off the field. Now they get their right 11 out there. And, boy, everybody's jumping. No flag yet. Toss to the end zone. Incomplete. Now the flag's down at the 7-yard line. And
I think they're going to call it, well, no, they call it offsides. Originally, the line judge motioned the wrong direction, but eventually they're going to give him 5 yards down there.
So we'll go half the distance from the 7, so they'll put this thing inside the 5, and we'll replay third down.
I'm not sure if he just went with a hard cadence there, but either way, the Lobo defense, most of them came across the line of scrimmage. Still big third down play.
All right, third and goal coming up. And again, boy, something's going on where the Lobo defense is jumping. That's about the 4th play in a row, and it makes you think either there, and we can't hear from up here, but either there's some kind of hard count going on or somebody's doing something at the line of scrimmage that's drawing on. And there we go. It is a penalty on the Wranglers. That was drawing the Lobos off.
Yeah, it's funny. In that circumstance, the penalty's worse for the Wranglers because they are going to lose 5 yards. They only gained about 3.5 yards on the half the distance to the go. A little unfair to the offense, but that's just how it is down there in that end of the field.
So they'll move it back to the 8. We'll try this again. 10:55 left to play in the half. 14-6 Lobos. And again they come across. And again there's a flag and a whistle. Well, it was almost a spectacular pick by Willie Nelson, who goes down hard and is a little slow getting up.
Yeah, I hope he's fine. Yeah, he seems to be. But looked like the right guard that time for West Mesquite may have bobbled. We'll see what the call is.
Yeah, if that's the case, that's Artavian Brown over there. And they're going to go offsides against
boy, I sure thought he bobbled on that play.
So it's 3 consecutive penalties, and we go back to the half the distance to the goal. And crazy.
I'll tell you what, this is a bit of two-stepping over here in Mesquite tonight in the cow town of Dallas County.
And actually in that exchange, it has been worse for West Mesquite because they started that thing at the 7, got half the distance, got 5 pushed back to the 8, half the distance back up to the 4 now. So they basically lost a yard in that exchange.
Now that time they just couldn't get them to come across the line of scrimmage and they're forced to burn the timeout.
Yeah, so with 10:50 to play in this rather interesting drive, 14-6 is our scores. We'll stay here. And, of course, there are no other games going on tonight because we're the Thursday night game. And I'll let you explain why we play Thursdays when we sometimes come to the Metroplex.
Well, we mentioned Mesquite Memorial has Mesquite has 5 high schools. They have 2 stadiums, Hamby just down the road, right up 635, Mesquite Memorial, which opened in 1976. When you got 5 high schools, the math just doesn't work. You're sometimes going to have home games that you can't play on Friday night.
Right.
And so that is the case for Mesquite.
Yeah, 5 high schools, 2 stadiums. You're right, math doesn't always work. I'm not good at math, but 5 doesn't go into 2 very often.
No, and so occasions when they have 3 or more playing home games, you got to put some on Thursday or a Saturday.
Yep. So here's where we are at Memorial Stadium. Sun's starting to go down. 80 degrees. 3rd down and goal now, or 4 yards to go now. Back to pass, Dale throwing the slant. It's caught in the end zone. Simmons trying to stay with him on the coverage, but that's a touchdown for Javion Jackson, and it's a 14-12 game.
Yeah, similar to the pass they threw to Turner earlier, just a little slant, and that's going to get them on the board. And I thought they'd go for 2. Yeah, a little swinging gate here.
Well, we'll see if they can tie this thing up. They'll set up the awkward for special teams swinging gate. They're looking to see, but coach is way out on the field for this and getting warned to back up a little bit. Man in motion is Corona, and we'll have a flag down before we get going. Far side, we're going to call motion on the special teams for the Wranglers.
Yeah, we'll see if that talks the Wrangler coach into giving up on the 2-point conversion after he gets the 5-yard penalty. Looked like Longview was well aware of the swinging gate formation. No surprise there. They had everybody appropriately lined up, and that's what I think led to West Mesquite. The surprise part of it was ineffective, and so they were unable to pull the thing off.
This has been a penalty-laden last couple of minutes. 10:46 on the clock. They'll try again. Oscar Valles is their kicker. Snap is good. The kick is on the way. He punches that one through, and we'll make it a 14-13 game. 10:46 left to play in the first half. We'll take a break. We're going to come right back to Longview Game Day.
Howdy, East Texas. Neil McCoy here for Patterson Nissan in Longview, home of the free lifetime warranty. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle has never been easier. Just head over to PattersonCars.com and you'll find over 1,400 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, many certified pre-owned and backed by the Patterson Lifetime Warranty. And you can buy with confidence because each one has to pass a 167-point inspection before it's listed for sale. Log on and find your new-to-you pre-owned car, truck, or SUV at PattersonCars.com.
All right, 10:46 to play in the first half. 14-13 ball game, and it honestly looked like about 12 minutes of playtime ago. Well, not even that much, about 5. It looked like this was about to be a blowout.
Yeah, at 14-0, it surely did. By the way, you saw Neil McCoy there on the commercial. May not know this, but back in 2007, Craig Wayne Boyd from West Mesquite won The Voice.
Really?
West Mesquite graduate, was a winner of The Voice in season 7, I think.
Was he any good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He must have been
I
good.
know if
He
you heard
won.
him. Well,
He was on Team Blake.
Oh, well, whatever that means, that's got to be important. 10:46, here's the kick. This one's shorter. Hamilton will go to about the 13, 14-yard line to grab it. Little seam, 30, 35, 40. Down the sideline, cuts at the 40, and he'll go inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. How about that for taking a little momentum back?
Well, I tell you what, sometimes special teams plays can do exactly that. Take the momentum back after letting them score 13 unanswered points, first with the turnover and then with a little drive of their own. The Lobos step up with a big play, have a short field here, and an opportunity to regain control of this ball game.
All the way down to the 27-yard line. Let's say that is a 71-yard return.
Excellent math there, young man.
Thank you. First down at the 27-yard line. Lobos back in business. Jordan Allen with the handoff. That is Jarrett Lewis. He's across the 20 to the 18, making the 17-yard line, and just let's see if they're going to save first down because he's right on the 17-yard line. Yep, they'll move the chains.
Yeah, once again, Wranglers do a little ball tackling. Didn't work, and instead we see the first down being picked up. Almost like John King and staff said, we're just going to go back to what we do well. That's I formation.
Well, what they were doing well was throwing the football. Bad pitch kind of set things weird. Handoff again. Ooh, it's a big tackle at the 14-yard line as he got upended and dumped to the ground. I think that was Abraham Salome on the tackle. Again, we struggle with the black jersey and the silver number. But a gain of about 3 to the 14-yard line. It'll be second down and 7.
I don't know what the number was, but he brought the wood that time, and really a big hit. But, you know, they did have some success passing, but still, if you think Longview football under John King, this is what you think right here. Just keep it simple, lean on that offensive line.
Not even playing with a fullback. They're just going to keep going right back to that tailback as he squeezes up to about the 12-yard line for a gain of 2. Lewis with a couple of more, and it's going to bring up third down, and they need about 6 for the first down, 5 for the first down.
In field goal range, it would be interesting to see what Coach King's thinking here. If he would consider the field goal. Right now,
I'm going to ask you. You're John King. Are you considering a field goal right now?
You are. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I don't want to come out of this drive with no points. I don't want to have the big play on special teams and walk away with no points.
9:13, actually, under 9 minutes left to play now.
A lot of them have to do with what you do on this play.
And on this play, back to pass, Allen looking. He's got some trouble, flushed. He's going in the wrong direction, and he's going to be dropped back at the 29-yard line. That's a loss of 17, and now it's fourth down.
So I think you took the field goal off the table with that play.
I would think.
Yeah, this is going to be a long fourth down play. And tell you what, that was not a good-looking play from the get-go.
No.
And they did a good job that time. They had Hale covered downfield, and that's where Allen was looking. Hale's going to – is he going off the field here?
Yeah, they are going to try a field goal. This is going to be about a 46-yard attempt. Xavier Parker, by the way, was the man who got the sack. Michael Fields coming on. Isaiah Harris is the holder. Mongo Williams, the snapper. Here's the kick on the way from 46, and it would have been good from about 44. And he misses the field goal, and so the nice special teams play does result in nothing, and the Wranglers get the ball back with 7:57 to play in the half.
Boy, that Wrangler coaching staff went charging onto the field, 3 or 4 of them. They were so excited to have not given up any points after that long kick return, and after the sack, the ball ends up about where they started the drive.
Yep, 29-yard line. Wranglers have scored 13 unanswered, 7:57 left to play in the half, and they can actually take the lead if they march down the field. First down, time for the Lobo defense to step up. Handoff, they don't do very many of those. No, it's kept. Dale keeps it himself, and he's going to be dropped at the 34-yard line. It's Buda Garrett on the tackle, and that was good for a gain of 5.
Yeah, I spoke earlier to the fact that Craig Dale's got a nice sleight of hand. He's not easy to follow with the football, and that time he pulled it out, went and picked up 5 yards on first down. That's what you want when you're running that zone read. You want to get those 5 positive yards and make second and third down easy for your OC.
7.5 left in the half. Second down and 5. West Mesquite going to put 4 receivers out this time, 2 to either side. Man in motion, Jesus Nino. Back to pass, Dale, slant high, missed everybody. He was looking, I guess, to get that ball to Devin Duncan, but he wasn't close, and it's going to be third down.
Well, they run 2 successful slants to the left side. That time they finally looked to the right side with it. Not a very good throw. There was some softness there in that zone that would have allowed the reception. Dale just didn't make a very good pass, and now they end up with 3rd and 5.
Actually, that's Kason McCoy, number 3, the sophomore, a guy they thought at the beginning of the year may be their star tailback, and he just hasn't been able to crack his way into the lineup for whatever reason. Now he's getting some chances to play. Little quarterback draw on 3rd down, and Dale's not going to get there. He got grabbed from behind, and I want to say that was maybe Billy Smith that grabbed him from behind and held on to him as the quarterback tried to wait for the line to step past him, and Smith does a great job shutting that one down, and it's 4th down and a couple.
About 6:40 left here in the second quarter. You talked about a year ago, it was a big second quarter that propelled Longview to the win in this game. Tonight it's been the opposite. It's kind of brought the Wranglers back in this game.
All right, so 4th down and 2. And they're going to bring TJ Turner, their punter, out. He's got plenty of time and kicks a line drive all the way down to the 25-yard line. Willie Nelson grabs it there, and he doesn't get very much at all. He got hit first by Devin Duncan, who slowed him down. That allowed Jesus Nino to tackle him, and it's first down Lobos back at the 25-yard line.
Willie Nelson doing his best Kenny Rogers impression. Bit of a gambler right there as he does not call the fair catch. Instead tries to sidestep the first man down and doesn't get a whole lot on the return.
All right, well, with 6:15 left in the half, Lobos, who've done a little marching up and down the field early in the game, are struggling to get first downs since that first quarter reached about the 9-minute mark.
And you almost sense they've lost their direction, what they want to do offensively in this game. After coming out passing, then going back to the run, they're going to go back to the gun this time.
Tell you what, if you could take one play back, it would be the fumbled pitch.
Oh, for sure.
First down, back to the ground they go. That's Harris. Big hole, rumbles to the 40, gain of 15, first down Lobos.
I like how they're using Harris tonight. When they go into that gun formation, he's the halfback. As you said, typically he's a fullback type, so he can run between the tackles. He's getting a little more of a head start back there at that halfback position and has looked good on his touches tonight.
So first down at the 40.
Start making your way down.
I formation. Handoff second back through. That's Lewis to the 46-yard line for 6 more.
So they change it up a little bit here. They go past formation, then start running the football. That's I tell you what, if you try to prepare for Longview each week, they give you 2 different offenses each and every week. And then when they go into one of the offenses, what you expect to get out of them is not always what you receive.
No, there's so much you got to prepare for. 5:23 left to play in the half. Second down, we'll make it almost 5 at the 45-yard line. Going fullback dive, Harris again, close to the first down at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, that's the old power I with the fullback in there, and that's that dive play. Both times they've run it tonight, they've gotten good positive gains.
And they'll move the chains. Ball makes it right to the 50-yard line. So we'll flip things around. First down and 10. Running behind that left side of the line, that's Mongo Williams, Tavion Morgan over there. It's center and left guard. First down. Jax Norman, of course, the left tackle. Throw to the sideline, that's caught by Wright. He'll be escorted out of bounds at the 36-yard line. He dropped the ball, but he was out of bounds already. Gain of 14 and another first down.
Yeah, they may have got roughing the passer on that. Let's see if they get some additional yardage added to the end of this. There's a flag back there where the quarterback released the ball from, and it is going to be roughing the passer. Let's see what we got on the replay here. If we get we can see what happened on the roughing the passer. He got rid of it. But I tell you what, pretty good out route that time by Wright off the play action.
So the 15-yard penalty is going to put that ball all the way down on the 21-yard line. First down and 10. And here we are again. Lobos are right back where they were before.
Well, once again, you don't want to come out of here without points. That was a disappointing no-point drive after the kickoff return. Let's see what they can do here.
All right, first down at the 21. Handoff Lewis to the 15 and to the 13, make it the 12-yard line for a gain of 8.
Tell you what, a lot of room that time, and part of it was because Jax Norman had just blown his guy downfield. Jax was still on his block when the back got to it, and he kind of got in the way there for Lewis, but he had whipped his man for about 8 yards downfield.
Longview threatening now inside the 15 as we're down to 4:12 left to play in this first half.
Back under center.
From the 12, tight formation, handoff to Lewis, and nothing doing there. He got the first down. I'll tell you what, it looked like he leaned across the 11. The head linesman's got him that way.
Yeah.
The guy on the other side went backward behind the 11-yard line. We'll see where they put this thing down.
Yeah, they may ask for a measurement here. The Whitehead's going to look at it closely.
Yeah.
He's going to say first down. Tell you what, we're at the age where they just don't like to do measurements anymore. Unless it's late in the ball game, you're not going to see a measurement. The Whitehead's going to go up there and make his call.
And why don't they like a measurement?
Well, it takes a lot of time, and if it's not late in the game, you just don't see them very often. It's the same thing, since we've gone to calling the ball in bounds on everything.
3:41 and counting. Handoff again, Lewis dancing inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. They can get a first down at the 2, so it'll be second down and 1.
And once again, they get that big push on the left side, and that may be 50 out there again. That was Jax Norman, who the junior offensive lineman, 6 foot, 225 pounds, used all of his oomph that time to open that hole up.
So they're inches from a first down, a yard and a half, let's say, for a first down. And we got a whistle blowing and a timeout, as West Mesquite's going to take their timeout with 3:08 left to play in the first half. We'll take a quick break. 14-13 our score here on Longview Game Day.
Printing your photos just got easier. Just pick your size, color, and favorite photo, and we'll do the rest. Because your unforgettable moments are meant to be framed.
Well, you mentioned before the timeout that John King may just go back to the ground. He's not just going to the ground. He's going to the ground and Jarrett Lewis over and over and over again on this drive. It's been Lewis getting the football.
Tell you what, I'll be shocked if in the next 3 plays we see him go back to the air. And another thing is they've got something going over there with Jax Norman on that left side. He's playing that left tackle spot tonight, and he's got a center's number, but a guard attitude the way he's kind of grading out there, but it's the left tackle spot that's working right now.
Lewis with 4 carries on this drive so far. Second down and a yard at the 2. He's the deep back. We'll hand it to him again. Little stutter step, hops a defender, and gets in from 2 yards away to make it a 20-13 lead for the Lobos.
Yeah, that time we got to give credit to Martin Guerrero, who had a player shoot the gap, but he took care of him. Lewis sidestepped him and just eased into the end zone.
A lot of Lewis on that drive, and the Lobos get a little breathing room. They can make it an 8-point game if Fields can convert. 3:03 left to play in the half. Snap a little bit behind. Isaiah Harris does a nice job getting that thing down. They'll punch it through for the point after, and we'll keep it here with a 21-13 Lobo lead.
We talked about the second quarter thus far had not been that good for the Lobos. Well, they did something about it. They put together a nice drive, took it down the field, and in the end just kind of muscled their way into the end zone.
And maybe the best drive of the evening. They went 8 plays, 75 yards. It got helped by that roughing the passer penalty. But still 8 plays, 75 yards. They do that in a minute 48 to make it a 21-13 lead.
We're going to get a second look at the touchdown play here as we get a replay. They're in that power I formation with the fullback up. Notice here, Guerrero is able to seal the block there in the backfield and get him in the end zone.
All right, so the Lobos, who were up 14-0, let the Wranglers get 13 back to make it close, and they just went on a power drive. Every play but one was on the ground on that 8-play drive.
Well, we talked about the fact that part of it was done out of the spread or gun formation, but they still went back to just power football, and it paid big dividends as they marched it down the field.
I'll tell you what, the Wranglers have only 3 first downs in this game to 11 for Longview, but they have been opportunistic. Of course, they had the 66-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown. This one's going to be down to the 7-yard line, where Corona's going to bring it up the field across the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and Willie Nelson's going to pull him down. But it's after he stepped out of bounds at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, it was actually Turner on the return. They had eased him back there to that back right spot, and he did a better job of coming across the field with it. They had not looked very good on previous kickoffs. That time, the kicker from Longview went to the different side of the field, and much better return that time.
39-yard return out to the 46-yard line, so it'll be first down for the Mustangs there.
Just under 3 to go here in a half. We'll see. Plenty of time to stay in their base offense. No need to start throwing the ball.
West Mesquite's got 1 timeout. Lobos have 2. 2:53 left to play in the half. Handoff right up the middle, and that is easy 5-6 yards as Elijah Dancy goes across the 50-yard line to make it second down, and let's see if they're going to put it down on the 48.5-yard line, so second down and 4.
That is their base offense. It is that zone read. They spread you out. They've got multiple receivers, but they like to run underneath that.
So at the 49, second down, 4.5 or 5 for the first down. They're going to go back to the ground. Kanan with it this time. Boy, it looked like he was stopped in the backfield, and he's going to be very close to a first down. A bunch of Lobos in on the tackle. Rugley's down there, and so is Fairchild. And let's see who comes off the bottom of that pile.
I think it's Rugley was on the bottom.
He was at the very bottom. Devin Isaac was there as well, and that's going to be just shy of the first down by about a yard.
Clock running under 2 minutes now, and so it'll be interesting to see. You wouldn't think they'd look downfield here on 3rd and 1. They'd just try to secure the first down.
3rd down, 1 to go. Oh, Lobos jumped offside. This is going to be free play, it looks like, for the Wranglers. They're going to throw one up, and it'll be incomplete as Simmons was the closest to it, but we've got a flag down, and the clock stops with 1:40 left.
That's unfortunate. We saw this down at the goal line. They are so good pulling the Lobos off sides, and that's going to get them another first down and stop the clock here as they've got to move the chains. We'll see if they take advantage of that stop clock and get to the line ready to go when the ready's blown.
Yeah, that has been problematic. The offsides for the defense tonight is uncharacteristic. We have not seen that so much so far this year. First down now, 40-yard line. I'm going to try a little reverse this time. That is Corona, who will tiptoe his way across the 35, and let's see where they're going to mark him down. Looks like about the 33-yard line for a gain of 7.
Yeah, I thought for a moment Buddha had a good angle on him, but he just ran around him and picked it up and also got out of bounds. So the clock stops with 1:33. They've got they've only got the 1 timeout left. So they're using the clock well right now. 1:33 as they're looking for points before the half.
Wranglers trailing by 8, but they are driving here. 1:33. It's a handoff again to Dancy, who's going to be shy of the 30, but looks like he's very close to the marker at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, and that's big that they did not let him get that first down because the clock would have stopped. Instead, it continues to run under 1:20 to go here, and they're reluctant to use their final timeout as they come to the line on 3rd and short.
Yeah. So 3rd and just a little bit at the 31-yard line. And we're going to get the last time out. So it comes with 1:05 left to play in the half. Mesquite's got no timeouts left as they face a 3rd down and a yard at the 31-yard line, trailing 21-13.
Well, they came to the line. They tried the hard cadence. It didn't work. And really, they wasted about 15 seconds there. If they were going to take the timeout, I think they'd have been wise to do so. Instead, they tried to draw them off again. That didn't work. They lose 15 seconds and have to burn the timeout.
You know, we started this with the expectation. This is a pretty vaunted passing offense that they've got.
What we've seen on film,
Yeah, Dale's got 850 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 3 picks coming into this game. They've thrown just 2 completions out of 7 attempts for just 44 yards.
Well, I think people are beginning to see how good these 2 young sophomore corners are. Simmons and Willie Nelson will make you think twice about throwing the football, and they've been very good for 2 young men that have 4 varsity games under their belt at this point.
Yeah, remember, West Mesquite's really only had 1 offensive drive that scored them a touchdown. Their scoop and score was the other score, or their offense has really just been good for 99 yards in this first half.
They have looked good on slant patterns.
So 3rd down and a yard at the 31 as we go back to live action. Dale back. He's going to go up deep. Nelson's back there on the coverage, and it's overthrown, attempting to get the ball to Gabriel Corona, and it'll be 4th and a yard.
Yeah, I'm having trouble seeing Turner or Corona. Either way, 11-17. That time, it looked like for a moment Willie Nelson had given up the inside position, but I think he read correctly that the ball was longer, and that was just not an opportunity for the receiver to catch the football when he cut inside the coverage.
So with 59, actually it was 17, you're right, it is T.J. Turner. You can't really, you're right, you can't tell the 11, the 1 from the 7 until you get it from the back.
He's a little taller is the only reason I can tell it.
Yeah, well, he's got the black shoes. How about that? Corona's got the white, so we can look at that. 3rd or 4th and short, and they get the first down on the handoff inside to Dancy up to the 28-yard line. They needed 1. They got 3. And they keep the drive going as the clock will stop with 54 seconds left to play.
Be a little interesting to see. They're probably going to have to start throwing the ball here with no timeouts left.
And they wind it back up again. Dale back to pass. Got a receiver caught. That's Turner inside the 20 as he's banged down. Coming in hard was Drake Mayfield on the tackle. That's a gain up to the 17-yard line and a first down.
See here if they spike the ball to buy themselves some time. Unfortunately for Longview, they've got an injury on the field, so that's going to buy the Wranglers some time as their man is down and is going to have to be attended to.
Yeah, so clock will stop. 42 seconds left to play.
Yeah, we're going to keep it here. See how long the young man's going to be down. It's not as warm as it has been, so we don't think it's a cramp, but we'll see. They're going to help him up. And
yeah, that's DK Stanford coming off the field. He needed a little help to walk off, but he's walking off.
Looks like he's got a whole lot of tired going on right there. He just give out. But either way, they're going to get him to the sideline. As I mentioned, that's unfortunate for the Lobos. I think they would have forced them into at least spiking the football and burning it down to save time. But now they've got time to call their play, come out, and execute without losing anything on the clock.
With all that happened last week, Stanford may have had the biggest play of the game last week, that fourth down stop where he took a lineman, the quarterback, and the running back and stopped them all for Bryant on 4th and short. He goes out now. Man in motion's Corona. Back to pass, Dale. Looking end zone. That's Turner. Oh, he made a one-handed catch in the back of the end zone while he's been held by Willie Nelson. It looked like I hadn't seen officials put up a signal yet.
Yeah, I
they
guess
still
he got
haven't
a foot
put it
down.
up.
We'll look at the replay on this. We get an opportunity because that's an amazing one-handed grab. Let's see what we've got here.
Circus catch at the back of the end zone. It really looked like his right hand was pinned, and he reached out with the left paw, and that ball stuck to it. Here we go on replay. Let's take a look in that back left corner of the end zone. Oh, yeah. He makes a nice play with Nelson all over. That's a great catch. They're going to go for two here, and a little reverse tricking, and a stop, and then into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. We're all tied up as Devin Duncan goes in for the 2-point conversion, and with 35 seconds to play in the half, it's 21 all.
Well, you got to give West Mesquite a lot of credit here. They got the ball back. I mentioned at the time I thought they had enough time to stick with their base offense, and they did so and managed to go down and not only score but tie the thing up. And tell you what, Turner just made a heck of a play. He's kind of arm barring Willie Nelson, the corner, on the touchdown, as he's you could almost call a offensive pass interference on that, as he kind of pushed off, got himself a little separation, then used his left hand to bring it in.
Well, that's a tough one to call an offensive interference. If I'm a Wrangler, I'm going to say, your guy's holding my arm. I can't even get the other arm up to be able to catch the ball. Either way.
But when we looked at it, he's basically got that arm extended and got some separation there because of it.
We'll do some superlatives on that. It was really good coverage by
sure.
Willie Nelson. It was a phenomenal catch by Turner. But don't forget Dale's pass. He put that ball where nobody else is getting it at the back stripe. So give all three kids credit for an outstanding play. It just so happens 2 of the 3 were for West Mesquite, and they got the better of that. And so we're tied at 21 with 35 seconds left to play. And remember, they deferred from the coin toss.
So they get the ball. Tell you what, 2 timeouts left for the Lobos. If they can get another return like they had previously, it's not unthinkable to get some additional points here in the half.
Jalen Hale, who had a couple of touchdowns early in this game, has been so quiet since about 5 minutes left in the first quarter rather.
Be interesting to see if the Wranglers just squib this thing or if they allow a run back.
Hamilton's been close, it felt like, to breaking one already. They are going to squib it instead, and it'll come over to Taylor at the 20-yard line. To Kalen to the 30, 35, down to the 39-yard line. And the Lobos have 30 seconds to play with and a long field to go.
Well, they got 30 seconds, 2 timeouts. We saw that their kicker was a little short from 46. So you speculated they might have been good at about 43, 44 yards. That means they're going to have to get down to about the 25 to have an opportunity to go for a field goal.
All right, so with 30 seconds, we'll see what John King and the offensive staff are going to pull out to try to get some points. Mike Valerie, of course, the OC. Oscar Wilson, the running backs coach. John Ritt, the receivers coach. Chad Hancock and Spencer Bournes are the coaches' offensive lines, and David Ashley does tight ends. And on first down, we got a flag down before.
Yeah, we got some motion there. Didn't get set and didn't execute that right. And so what you didn't need was to add an extra 5 yards on it when you've only got 33 seconds to work with.
Yeah. I said earlier, this is an uncharacteristic look for the Lobo defense. A lot of penalties. Coach King does not like undisciplined anything, and you kind of think halftime locker room is probably going to be a little animated.
Spirited?
Spirited. There will be probably one voice you're going to hear for a few minutes.
A lot of pep. A lot of pep.
A lot of pep, yeah. All right. So we'll try it again on 1st and 15. Allen back to pass. He's going to heave one down the field, and it's intercepted. It was intended for Hamilton. That one's picked off at the 25-yard line and returned out to about the 39. And another turnover before we get out of the half. And let's see, and we got a late flag coming in.
Yeah, we got a little scrum on the far side, and that's going to get a flag thrown. So I tell you what, if you, and no offense to Taylor, the ball was a little underthrown, but we saw that right before the half last week when the ball was a little underthrown, and Jalen Hale just went and got it.
Javonte Jordan gets the interception for the Wranglers. There's still 19 seconds on the clock.
No timeouts left for the Wranglers.
So let's see where this is going to go here. So they hit Jax Norman with unsportsmanlike, but I think they're going to be offsetting. Yep. So both kids or both teams have a kid on either side. It gets a little bit too animated after the fact. All that goes away. Ball's going to sit at the 40-yard line with 19 seconds left.
That's just some dirty dancing over there. Two big old guys swinging away at each other in close company. So they're going to get hit with unsportsmanlike conduct and no harm, no foul.
Well, the harm and the foul is if you're the Lobos, you're a little harmed. Your feelings are hurt. This is not the way this half was supposed to be going.
But I do like the idea. You've got some good receivers. You've had some luck early on passing the football. Air it out. Don't just give up and go to the half. And here with no timeouts left, you would expect they're going to probably run one or two plays and see if they can break one.
Well, on first down, it is a handoff, and they're not breaking anything except the 40-yard line. 2nd down and 9, and Lobos are hanging on and pulling at the football, and clock will roll down, it looks like, to the end of the first half. And a little bit of a shocker, a 21-21 ball game in the district opener. Longview's gotten all they wanted and a whole lot more from West Mesquite, and they're going to go into the locker room, again, kind of shocking folks that this is a tie ball game. And what looked like a runaway victory in the middle of the first quarter has all of a sudden been a game that's allowed Coach Sandoval's group from West Mesquite to think they got a chance to win this game.
I agree. It should have been a blowout early, 14-0. A bad pitch changed the direction of this ball game. The scoop and score all of a sudden made the Wrangler young men think that they could get in the middle of this game and stay in it. And right now they're right there, 21-all, getting the ball to start the second half.
Well, it is a bit of a surprise. I think we're going to take a timeout, I think. What are we going to do? We're going to do that. All right, so quick timeout. We'll come right back. We'll show what's going on the field for halftime. We'll tell you what stats happened. We'll talk about what's going on in the district as well. That and more at the half. You are checking us out here on Longview Game Day.
It's a new season. And at Sport Clips, all of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips, it's good to be a guy.
All righty, 21-21 ball game. Let's do a quick little recap of what happened in the first half. A 21-21 ball game that
make it short and sweet.
We got the band coming. I'm not talking. Band's coming. We'll come back after the band. We'll tell you exactly what happened in the first half here on Game Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, out of the field director of the Longview District proud to present the award-winning Longview High School Lobos Band. This is the Big Green Marching Machine.
is Iris Ortega. Spirit Girl of the Week is Samantha Solis. And the Toxic of the Week is Trinity Evans. Now sit back and enjoy the lyrics as they perform a high-tech Two Bad Guys. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight taking the field for your halftime enjoyment, the West Mesquite High School Burnt Orange Band. The 2021 Burnt Orange Band is under the field direction of drum majors Veronica Andrade, Flor Badillo, and Ariel Torres. Section of the week is the clarinet. Color guard member of the week is Melissa Guzman. This evening, the Burnt Orange Band will present their full UIL competitive show, 5. Selections include arrangements of Beethoven's Fifth, Cycle Songs, Mars, and I Want You Back by Jackson 5. And now, the West Mesquite Burnt Orange Band.
Impressive. That's the word I'm using. Impressive halftime show. 2 outstanding bands today.
2 outstanding bands, and I'll be honest, West Mesquite really brought the xylophone. And I don't think the xylophone is appreciated enough. So
Underrated.
Kudos to the Wrangler band for emphasizing the xylophone.
Underrated, underused, underappreciated.
Yes. Now, a lot of work to be done for the Lobos here in the second half.
Yeah, the first half started great, ended blah.
Yes, and you wonder how quickly it changed, because there we were on the third drive, looked like we're about to go up 21-0, and a errant pitch and the wheels came off, and that's how we find ourselves at 21-all at the half.
So let's do this real fast. Longview, 11 first downs to 7 for the Wranglers, 21 rushes, 83 yards for the Lobos, 13 for 61 for West Mesquite. Throwing the football, we had 133 yards on 5 of 8 passing. West Mesquite, 4 of 10 passing for 72 yards. Quick math, 133 yards of offense for West Mesquite, 16 yards for Longview. But the turnovers, a little bit of a problem. We had an interception. They had an interception, and the bad snap. Like I said, the pitch. The bad pitch changed the momentum of this game, and from that point forward, it has been a slobber knocker.
Yes, and West Mesquite does not look like they're going to go away this evening. We talked about they're 2-2. They've been in some tight ball games. They didn't win a tight ball game against Poteet down the street, and I'm trying to remember the school they ended up losing to last week. Who was that?
Yeah, that Timber.
Yeah, Timber Ridge or something.
Timber Creek.
Yeah,
Keller
Timber Creek. So the Wranglers have played some tight ball games. They're hungry to win one.
All right, well, Longview's going to kick off. Michael Fields to tee it off at the 40-yard line. Half number 2 underway, and the opening kick of the second half all the way down to the 8-yard line, and this is all kinds of problems, and it will not get to the 10 for West Mesquite.
I think that's Turner again.
I think it is again. TJ Turner, who had a pretty nice first half. And coming into this, 6 catches, 146 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So 6 catches, 4 of them for scores. And we saw the impressive catch at the end of the first half that tied this game up. And it's going to be the 10-yard line where things are going to start for half number 2 for the Wranglers.
I tell you what, he started that return out almost identical to the big return he had in the second quarter, but never turned it upfield, and so they start inside their own 10 here.
All right, we are off and running. It is Craig Dale at quarterback, the 6-foot junior with 841 yards coming into this game. They had a run Turner onto
that's
the
almost
field.
illegal substitution there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's all kinds of issues going on. Nobody said anything or done anything. The play clock shows 0, and there it is. Delay a game to begin the half for the Wranglers.
Turner had left the field and then came on at the last minute. I think they waited for him to come on the field. I thought we might get a flag for illegal substitution. They only had 10 players on the field, though, and it was a beginning series. They hadn't had people come in and out, so no call for that, but it is 1st and 15 now.
Back to the 5-yard line on first down. It's going to be a handoff, and that is Kanan Durden, who goes out to about the 8, maybe the 9-yard line for a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down and 11.
We mentioned their base offense is a whole lot of zone read, and once again, that's how they open this half. They've typically run 2 halfbacks, one on either side of Dale, and come up and read, and oftentimes that read goes in the middle between the tackles. And so only once, maybe twice, we've seen Dale take off with the ball.
Durden, 6 carries, 26 yards so far tonight. 2nd down and 11. Dale, a couple of hand claps. He's ready. He wants to go deep. And again, a moon ball he throws up there. And his receiver runs under and makes a nice catch at the 50-yard line. That's Devin Duncan. And that's with Jaden Simmons all over him. And he just drops that in the chute out to the 45-yard line. That's a gain of, 44 yards? 46 yards?
Simmons was right there in his hip pocket but couldn't bring contact because he was coming from behind. You described it perfectly, a moon ball. He just slowed up and made the catch.
Big gain, the Longview side of the field at the 45-yard line. Back to the ground they go. This is their second back, Elijah Dancy, who gets for a couple, and there's a late flag that just got thrown in. We'll go back to the catch for just a second.
Yeah, we'll look at the replay on this. They're inside their own 10-yard line. He gets the receiver down the middle.
And Simmons with just great coverage, but he just drops it in right there. Here's the flag, and it's going to be a unsportsmanlike conduct, and that is going to be on Wes Mesquite.
Wow.
I think he said 55. That's the 290-pound Trey Mitchell, their big offensive lineman. He started his career in high school as a defensive lineman. He's flipped over to the offensive side, and he just cost his team 15 yards.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. They have a tremendous start to the second half with the long pass reception. Going back to that pass reception, I tell you what, that was just a great play by Duncan. He was able to use his body to shield the defender, slow up just enough to make the reception. A lot of guys would just give up on that play, but he did a great job of securing the catch.
So it goes all the way back to the 42-yard line. This is going to bring up a second down and 23. And on second down, it's going to be the quarterback, Dale, keeping it himself, and he'll spin his way across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Late push to push him backward, but he got some of that back.
Yeah, a little different twist that time. They're running that looked like a jet sweep, and so he basically faked the handoff on that and kept the ball. Looked pretty designed. They were trying to pull the in out with the jet sweep, and he ran underneath it, and nice gain there to get a big chunk of that yardage back.
But he's still got third down and 12 to go. So they got a little back. Still got a long situation coming up. So on 3rd and 12, Dale back to pass. He's looking to his right, throws one up deep. Receiver trying to get to it. Closest one was actually the Lobos, and I think that may have been Garrett back there, who took a dive at it at the 5-yard line. It's going to be 4th down.
I tell you what, I think they came out looking for that slant again here on the near side, but that time, I hadn't seen this in the first half. Chase Smith, the safety, really rolled over there and took that slant away, and that's going to end up being 4th and long now, and they're going to have to punt the ball away.
Yeah, and Lobo comes up hobbling, coming back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a
now, I thought that was Garrett. He's the one that hobbles. Yeah, it is. It's Buda Garrett. Comes all the way back to the line of scrimmage. All right, so here's the punt. Turner, the punter. This one's going to squib and hit at the 18-yard line and roll out of bounds at about the 13, and that's where the Lobos will take over. 9:32 to play in the first half. We forget that we don't have the clock up there for you, so 9:32 left in the half. Tied at 21. It'll be the Lobos' first possession of the second half coming up.
Yeah, Buda hobbles all the way off. Hopefully, maybe he just rolled that ankle or something. That's something he can walk off and continue to contribute tonight. Didn't see him earlier in the season, but since he's been back, he's been a huge contributor, particularly with Boone not being in the lineup the last couple of weeks.
All right, so the Lobos will take over back on the 13-yard line. First possession of this half. Tied up at 21. Of course, if you're just joining us, there's a bunch of offensive players not on the field tonight for the Lobos, who are typical starters. That includes quarterback Josh Thomas. That includes tailback Taylor Tatum. That includes Elijah Johnson. That includes Ethan Pulte. Those guys for sure would have been on this field tonight, and instead they're not here because of some injury, and we've had to plug in some other guys.
Come back out in the power eye that time, and they've had a lot of luck to that left side with Lewis. We talked about Nick's the big left tackle over there. Jax Norman, the big left tackle, had a big first half there.
Second down and 7 at the 16-yard line. They go to the ground again, and this is going to be good for a first down out across the 25-yard line. It's Isaiah Harris on the carry. Now, he lost the ball at the end of that, but it was ground that made the contact and the fumble, and it will be a Longview ball after the run out to the 27-yard line for a gain of 11.
Had an old power football play there, and all of a sudden a tumbling class broke out in the middle of it as the does a head over heels, and but still enough yardage for a first down.
Harris with the carry for the Lobos. He's got 8 carries and 58 yards. So Lewis and Harris have combined for 121 yards so far tonight. First down and 10 Lobos at the 27. Jordan Allen, the quarterback. I formation. Handoff, second back. That's Lewis across the 30. And then here comes the big push, and he still doesn't go down. He shakes off the last couple of Wrangler defenders as they couldn't get him to the ground, but he does gain 4 or 5 yards out to about the 31-yard line.
Yeah, they continue to get a big push with that left side over there, and they've done nothing but power I on this drive so far. They've had the fullback and tailback in there, been under center the whole time. We'll see if that continues.
They had great success throwing the football early in this game, and then they went away from that, and they have been concentrating on running the football since. 7:32 to play, third quarter, 21 all. Allen back to pass as if on demand, then he can't find something. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He waited a little too long to make the decision to go, and he got dropped back at the 26-yard line. Adrian Velasquez on the sack, and it's going to bring up third down.
Boy, how quickly the tide turns. You're looking at 2nd and 5, and now you're looking at 3rd and 11. Huge loss that time. They'd been nothing but power I. That time they come out in the gun. They got the split backs, and just didn't work out for them.
Now, things have changed dramatically on the pass defense for the Wranglers since those first 2 drives. Jordan Allen with a couple of catches the first couple of drives, including the first play of the game for a 63-yard touchdown, but he has been quiet since that second score. 3rd and 11, Allen rolling, looking sideline, balls into the hands of Allen. 43 for
that's
Longview.
Ja'Carius Cooper there.
We have not seen him this year, but Ja'Carius Cooper with the catch, and they're going to say he got the foot down inbounds at the 41-yard line. That's a big-time catch.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a replay on that. That was some great footwork. I don't know if we've got a view of that to look at, but tough call for the officials there on the near side.
Cooper makes his presence felt already with a huge 3rd and 11 gain for 15 yards and a first down.
Yeah, they just rolled out the quarterback on a boot there, and he just got his feet set and threw the ball downfield for the first.
6:33 to play in the quarter. Back to pass. Allen, he's going to roll to his left, throws, the ball's tipped. 2 defenders are there, and they got a hand on it. And that may be Trey Cunningham, the senior linebacker, that did it first, and it's going to bring up second down.
That time he waggled out to the left and looked like he had hell coming back to him. And for a moment looked like he might have a passing lane, but at the last second they got a finger on it.
Yeah, so second down coming up now.
We got a flag on that play.
Well, I didn't even see that. Late flag came on.
We got a lineman downfield.
Yep, ineligible receiver downfield.
Number 57 of the offense.
I thought he said 57, but I don't have a 57 on my roster, so it may be a different number.
Well, it's funny. They're going to take the 5-yard penalty. It stays first down, so 1st and 15 instead of 2nd down and 10. I don't know if I believe that's the right move or not, but on a handoff, Harris will get to the 40-yard line. He's not quite back to the original line of scrimmage, so I guess it works. It's 2nd down and 12 now, so Coach...
11, so it was a yard advantage.
Yeah.
That's the genius of Coach Sandoval right there.
Yeah.
He saw there was a yard there to be taken, and he took it.
Yeah, okay, if you say so. So we get the ineligible man downfield, cost us 5. And then come right back and picked up 4 of it.
That way you get to pad your numbers anyway.
You do? That's what that is? All right, so 2nd down and 11. Fullback dive again. Harris, 44-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down. They need 7.
And I'll tell you what, the folks from Longview, they have fun calling games. They come out in the power I, which probably gets you to scratch your head on 2nd and 11 anyway. Run the fullback dive. Leaves them with a somewhat manageable 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 here. We'll see what they've got in mind. They may come back out in the I again.
At this stage, you never know.
Well, they like to set you up, with one of their 2 offenses that get you thinking in a different direction and then run something different out of it.
All right, so we've got 3rd down. Ball sitting on the 44-yard line. And back to pass goes Allen. Trouble, sacked again. Back to the 31-yard line. we're having issues right now dealing with the pass rush from the Wranglers. That's Donovan Hawthorne, the senior, in there on the sack back to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, the disappointing thing on that is they had max protection that time. They only sent 2 receivers out into the pattern, and they had 5 or 6 to block 4 and just didn't get the job done.
So sacked twice on this drive. Couple steps forward, couple steps back, and it's 4th down.
4:25 left here in the quarter, and they're going to have to put the ball away.
Michael Fields on to kick. Return man back at about the 30-yard line. Coming after Fields, and this one doesn't come out well. Hits at the 46 and bounces backward and rolls on the Longview side of the field to the 49-yard line. And it is going to be another short punt. He had a 20-yarder in the first half. That ends up being a 12-yard punt. And it's 1st down 10 Wranglers with 4:13 left to play in the 3rd quarter.
Wranglers probably need to seize upon this opportunity. Ball won't continue to bounce their way every time all night, you don't think, but it has thus far, and they've got an opportunity to take the lead for the first time tonight.
Yikes. So 1st down and 10, Wranglers with the football. They're going to put it right on the 50-yard line, so we'll make it a 13-yard punt. On 1st down, inside handoff. Longview run defense has been outstanding tonight. Good for a yard or 2. Helmet comes off at the end. That's 55, and now a late flag comes in.
Yeah, that's going to probably be on number 2 there.
Devin Isaac got tied up with the offensive lineman Trey Mitchell. And we'll start with the couple-yard gain by Kanan Durden, and now we got to figure out.
Yeah, I'm afraid they're going to get some added on to that, as that may be another unsportsmanlike conduct call.
Wait for the official to give us the indication. Here we go, dead ball. He's having trouble with his microphone.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 2.
Boy, it's bad enough you give them the ball at midfield, then you're going to spot them 15 yards on top of that.
So the ball's going to move up to the 33-yard line. This is just going from bad to worse. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Devin Isaac. And it's going to be 1st down for Mesquite at the 34-yard line.
Little formation change, stack receivers to the far side.
Back to pass Dale. This one thrown behind Turner. Makes a great catch. Across the 30 out to about the 28-yard line. Brought down in the open field by Drake Mayfield, and it's going to bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, we haven't seen that all night. They went over there with the stacked receivers and had 3 in a row, and then they moved one of the backs over to that side, so you had 3 blockers out in front of him. Typically, they like that split back set, but a completely different look on that occasion. Here we go again with the same lineup.
Quick action. Another backward pass. This one going to go back toward the quarterback. That one's picked off. We're going the other direction. Lobos with the ball 50, 40. It's Devin Isaac. He got the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. He makes up for it and more to the 15-yard line. Lobos are back in business with 3:11 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Wranglers get a little cute there. They set the play up on the previous down when they had thrown the pass over there, went right back again to Corona. We're going to look at the replay here as this thing comes back the other way. He hangs it up there, overthrew the quarterback, and here comes the return.
He picks that ball off at about the 24-yard line.
About on the 30, I think the needle hit E.
Yeah.
He ran smooth out of gas there.
Yeah, it's a 61-yard return, and it's 1st down at the 15-yard line.
Need to strike quickly here and put some points on the board.
It's Allen keeping it himself, moving to the left, makes a great cut at the 11, and gets upended at about the 7-yard line.
Yeah, I had Hell out there on the far side blocking for him. Good looking play, just looked like he was going to play action pass, but instead it was a quarterback draw, and gashes him for a big gain on 1st down.
Was that Turner that threw the interception, or was that Corona?
I had Corona throwing it.
All right. Because they've had both of them throwing. Flag down.
Another
back
flag,
at the 20, at the 17-yard line. We'll wait on this one.
They talked to Coach King, so it should be on West Mesquite. Let's see what the call's going to be. It may have been offsides.
Offsides, yeah.
Yeah, they'll take the gain on that. Big 1st down gain, so they'll go 2nd and 1. Yeah, that time it was Corona with a lemon, not a lime.
So after the 9-yard gain by Allen, it's 2nd down and 1. High formation. Jarrett Lewis, a deep back. He's upended at the 5. It looks like he leaned enough for the first down. It should be first and goal.
We'll see here. You got the official here on the near side stopping clock. He thinks he's got it, so it's going to be first and goal. 5 yards away from pay dirt here. And I think the Lobos need to just punch this thing in. They got 4 plays to power up and try to push it in. We'll see if they go back to that left side.
What turnovers have been such a huge part of this game tonight.
They're taking Lewis out of the ball game. Let's see who they come back with.
2:30 left to play, 3rd quarter.
I go back to that quarterback delayed run again. It looked awful good.
Lewis has Isaiah Harris to his left. And it's going to be quarterback keeper. If he'll go wide, he has a touchdown. He cuts back in. He's going to get there anyway. Well done, young man.
Yeah, we got after the play penalty again. We'll see what that is. But, no, you kind of had a feeling that's the one that they got the big gain on first down. They'd seen something they liked, go back to it, and score the touchdown. We'll see if it's going to stand. What's the call here?
Well, Michael Fields is out there, so it stands.
Well, they don't put the points on the board yet. That's when I like to count them. We got 2:10 left here. We'll see if this has made it a 27-21 ball game or not.
Yeah, they haven't taken anybody off, so yes, the scoreboard operator hadn't put it on, but the official's saying we're counting it. Now, we haven't gotten the official word.
Yeah, he's going to conference with Coach King. I think they're going to call it and put it on the kickoff.
Yeah, I think you're right. Jordan Allen with the 5-yard touchdown run. And here we go, another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
What's your little word you like, chippy? Let's get a little chippy down there.
You're not kidding.
And our producer Frank's already calling for the onside kick on the kickoff.
Why wouldn't you? All right, Fields is getting ready. By the way, our guy Jordan Allen drugged that guy into the end zone, the last man. Was able to drag him in.
I'm not going there. Good try. Getting me in trouble.
Point after, up and good. 28-21, Lobos with the lead. We'll take a break. We're coming right back to Longview game day.
At Godarzi and Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
.210 left to play in the third. We'll come back for the replay of the touchdown. Here's Jordan Allen going in from 5 yards away.
Yeah, we talked about they ran basically the same play on first down, got a 9-yard gain. They come back with it. He makes the move on the outside, takes it inside, touchdown.
Yeah, from our angle, it looked like he had the man beat to the corner. He decided shorter route's a better route and took that hard step into the ground with his left foot and made that cut and got the touchdown, and there you go. Lobos back on top.
Be interesting to see if they kick it deep to Turner again with this short field they're kicking. They may onside kick. They may just put it out of the back of the end zone and make them start on the 25.
I'll tell you what, that's just a 20-yard thing. Is it worth the risk? Onside kick, if you don't get it, it's a 35. I'm doing an onside kick.
Well, all right.
I'm with Frank on this one. I don't agree with Frank a whole lot.
Balls bounce up sometimes. They got their hands team in there. They're expecting the onside kick. Sometimes that ball takes a funny bounce and makes for an easy return.
Yeah. I'm ready to risk that. We'll see. Of course, we say all that, and probably Coach King's going to have him pooch it. See what he decides. Yep, he's going to boot it to the end zone. And it gets in. Just barely got in. Well, I think that's what they were aiming for.
No, I don't think so. I think they wanted the man to catch it. It's such a short coverage. Yep. They want him to field it inside of the 10 with the thought that they can cover easily and keep them down inside that 10 again. As it turns out, he lets it go. It goes the end zone. So, little gamesmanship there. Sure. I like the idea of trying to get him to field it inside the 10 with the short coverage.
All right, well, it's a touchdown lead for the Lobos. Again, they haven't trailed in this game. The West Mesquite Wranglers are in a familiar spot, down again. 2:10 left to play, third quarter. As we go back to live action, and on first down, it's going to be Kanan Durden. Longview defense starting to sniff a little bit better now. Running has not worked for West Mesquite, and they're sniffing out the running plays. Passing has seemed to work, but you can't throw on every down.
Well, in order to make that work, they're going to have to make Craig Dale cross that line of scrimmage more often. More times than not, he is choosing to make the read and simply hand the ball to the running back. He's going to have to keep that defensive line more honest and force him to tackle him on occasions.
More moving around defensively. Mandrell Washington, 39 in the game for the Lobos. A little jet sweep action. Oh, faked it. Well done by the quarterback, Greg Dale. A little sleight of hand that time. Looked like he had handed it off to the receiver, Gabriel Corona, coming this way. Instead, he kept it himself and got up near the 30-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 5.
I haven't seen that good of acting since Mark Harmon was playing quarterback for UCLA. He is excellent at tricking the defense of where the ball is.
Down to the last minute of the third quarter. 3rd down and 5. You don't think this is a big play in this game, you're not paying attention. Lobos can get a 3 and out and get that ball back to open up the fourth quarter. Pressure starts really mounting on West Mesquite. They get this first down, and they're still in this thing. And we got a flag down before we get going. Clock will stop, 46 seconds left. And I think we had motion on the on the Wranglers.
Well, we saw several times in the first half when they were able to pull the Lobos off sides. Looked like they were fishing again for an offside penalty as they were kind of quirky coming to the line of scrimmage. Longview wasn't buying it here in the second half, and instead it kind of backfires, and now it's 3rd and 10.
I don't know if this changes a whole lot. They had 3rd and 5. They were, I'm quite sure, still going to the air. So now 3rd down and 10 back at the original 25-yard line. Greg Dale with one guy to his right, and back to pass. He's going to go looking right. He wants to throw one up. 2 Lobos bracketing Corona as Sublett comes over there, as well as Willie Nelson. Colin Sublett, haven't called him much tonight, but it's incomplete and 4th down.
Yeah, once again, they go with max protection and kept 2 guys in to help the offensive lineman. Only sent 3 out into the pattern, and not a whole lot of options there. He read early on it was going to be a difficult throw, just was not able to thread the needle.
So far, the play of the game was the Devin Isaac interception return that set up that last score by the Lobos. 4th down and 10. A couple of Lobos back on the 50-yard line. They're really short, and there's so much shifting going around. Caden Brooks was sure they were going. Instead, they had men shifting, and they drew Caden off sides.
Yeah, that's a pretty shifty move, all right. You don't see that often in punt formation where they're going to send 2 guys in motion. I'm not sure if they were going to fake that or that was simply designed to get them 5 yards. I can't imagine with 4th and 10 you were just looking for a 5-yard penalty. Right now the officials are trying to figure out what they saw in the play.
Yeah, I don't know, but if that's a design thing, they wasted a great penalty on a 10-yard to go situation.
Yeah, if they were designing that simply to get a 5-yard penalty, I don't understand why you do it on 4th and 10.
No, it's on them.
Yeah, you had too many people in motion at one time.
So another false start. Ball goes back to the 20-yard line.
Sandoval's arguing there was no snap. Without a snap, he wants to know how you called my 2 many minute motion.
Yeah.
And you're going to get the white hat over here to explain what the call is.
Yeah.
It's rare that a white hat will come to the sideline. Typically, that is relayed by the official. That's his final decision on what the call was, so he comes over and personally delivers the explanation. He'll go pick the flag up, and we'll get started again, 4th and 15.
But pick the flag up after they assess the 5-yard penalty. So back to the 20-yard line. Lobos changed things up a little bit. Because of that, they brought a second guy back up, so only 1 man back deep. Almost blocked that kick, and no flag on running into. They may have touched the ball, which now takes a West Mesquite bounce and roll down to the 37-yard line. But I don't know if they got the punter or if he acted his way through that. Turner went down.
Yeah, I didn't think they touched him. We can get a replay on that and see if there was any contact, but
looked like
too late. We got 15 seconds. Boy, I tell you.
Looked like Billy
Frank's
Smith.
tough.
Looked like Billy Smith was right in there on that. and thought there was contact. The official standing right there waved it off, said nothing. So kick all the way down to the 37. That's where the Lobos will start with just 15 seconds to play in the third quarter.
15 seconds is the key number right now. As you said, we've got that much time left on the clock here in the third.
All right, so first down. Last play probably of the third quarter. It's going to be a handoff to Harris for a couple to the 40, and that will run the clock down to 0. And we're going to flip sides of the field and come back for the fourth quarter. 28-21 the score. You're watching us on Longview Game Day.
And now at Orr, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at Orr Cadillac GMC in Longview.
Welcome back. Chuck, Zach, and Tony Kirk with you here on Longview Game Day. Fourth quarter about to start as we're taking a look at Coach King walking the Lobos back in the other direction.
He looks like the lead Lobo out there. The pack's just following him as they're getting down there by where the line of scrimmage is going to be and get ready to line up on this play. He's going to be 2nd and 6. Opportunity here, put together a little drive, take some time off the clock, maybe start salting this thing away.
That third quarter for the Lobos, 4 first downs to 2. They got outgained in that quarter though, 75 to just 47. But again, the big return on the interception was kind of the game changer, and the offense didn't have to do a whole heck of a lot. So now we go back to it.
Tell you what, Sandoval still wants an explanation from the White Hat on his punt play a while ago. White Hat, I think, is through talking to him.
Yeah, it's more than enough. I told you once, Coach. I'm not explaining it again. It was going to be it wasn't going to be a first down. It was going to be a 5-yard penalty, and would have set up 4th and 5. But here we go now, back to it, and it's going to be Harris again. Boy, Harris just powering across the 45 to the 49 of West Mesquite for a big run and a first down as he gains 11.
If he doesn't stumble, he may still be running down that into the field. Good lead dive play that time. Out of the power eye, they just stuck it in the fullback's belly. He gets a first down.
Harris now with 11 carries, 80 yards. That rushing combination, Harris and Lewis, 26 carries, 148 yards tonight. 1st and 10 Lobos. Mesquite 49-yard line. Go right back to it again, and again it's Harris for 4 to the 45-yard line.
Well, it worked to the right side, so why not try it to the left side? That's almost like a boxer with body blows. You're hitting that middle. Next thing you know, he pulls that thing out and maybe takes off and runs with it himself. Not going to say we're going to see another pitch.
Wouldn't think.
Yeah, after the way the pitch went in the first half, but that is the next step on that old triple option is pull it out of that fullback's belly, either quarterback keep it or pitch it to the I-back.
Now they brought Hale out of the game. Extra lineman, actually tight end. Jamerson Derensburg checks into the game. Hamilton's the lone receiver out left. 2nd down, Lewis up the middle. He bounces off one defender, still going across the 40. Late flag comes in as he was backing up around the 38-yard line. He has enough for the first down, but here's more laundry.
Yeah, it's from the umpire where we typically expect a hold. He's pointing over to the side. I thought it might possibly be a face mask, but not sure. They're looking at a spot foul, I think, because he's looking at where the flag is.
So they ran the ball up to about the 40. That's where the flag's down. And then we're going to end up attacking some penalty yards back to the other direction, I'm afraid. Well, you say all that, and White Hat again walking all the way over here to Coach Sandoval.
Well, he's going to give him his options. He's asking him what he wants.
Yeah, he's going to let the line. They're not going
No,
to give
they're
him
already
anything.
walking it off. That's. Yeah, I'm not sure there what the story is.
It's 15 going the other direction.
Yeah, so some type of personal foul if it's 15 yards. So this will be interesting to see what the call is.
And again, the official with problems.
Yeah,
Yeah, face mask on the offense.
Offense, that's unusual.
Yeah, don't see that one a whole heck of a lot.
So a little bizarre.
Well, did they take the spot off of this? Where
As
they
I
put
say,
the ball
I'm not
down
sure
yet?
that's a spot foul. If that's offensive face masking. We see that so rarely. I'll be honest. I'm not 100% sure. They're going to powwow. All the officials are going to get together and see that they picked up the spot already. They had originally marked it down about the 45 on the offensive end for Longview, and I guess they're going to eventually. I think they went back. I think they went to the line of scrimmage and marked it off from there.
So what they're doing, it looks like, is taking away the 5-yard, 6-yard, whatever run.
Yes.
And tacking on instead the 15-yard penalty, which basically should mean we're replaying the down.
We will replay the down, but they went back to the original line of scrimmage, marked the 15 yards off from there.
They've got third down up on the, well, now they've marked it back to second. They're still holding everything up. The officials are a little confused about where everything is supposed to be, and now they're actually going to go back to the 45.
Yeah,
so
they've decided it was a spot foul. All right.
They're taking the yard gained. They're marking it back to 15 from there. Yikes.
Yeah, so now the Whitehead, who spent a lot of time with Coach Sandoval, is getting to spend some moments with Coach John King.
Yeah, this will be quality time, I'm sure. So a very strange little turn of events. You got a 5-yard gain and then a 15-yard loss in the other direction.
You got a play clock running already down under 20, and the quarterback hadn't entered the huddle yet.
All right, well, let's see. It's still marked at second down. So second down and 16 back to the 45-yard line. And back to pass. Allen rolling left. Looks like he's going to run all the way, and he's going to be run out of bounds after just a 2-yard gain, and now it's third down.
Saw that earlier where they kind of waggled to the left there. Had two options downfield. He had held short, he had right downfield. Wright's going to jog off on the third and long play, and so a little surprise he won't be a threat out there. It looks like instead they're going to have number 12. That's Jordan Allen over there. He's a quarterback going over to see King.
They've done a lot of rolling hail out of this game.
Yeah.
Which is more than we have seen so far in the first 4 or 5 weeks of this season.
I'll tell you what, they ran a pretty well executed screen in the first half. Let's see if they go back to that here.
All right, so on what is now third down and 14, Longview is going to go set up a screen middle. That's Victor Bush, makes a good catch, avoids one defender, and fights his way to the first down to the 38-yard line. He needed the 39. He got an extra one just for good measure, and the Lobos move the chains.
You kind of had a sense that was the down to run it on. They had run it earlier in the game. Looks like we're going to get a replay on that as they set this thing up to the right, get the lineman out in front, throw him behind the line of scrimmage so he can be downfield. Just a good job of going to get the first down.
Yeah, he broke a tackle. When he caught the ball, he got through another tackle to get the first down. It's a lot of effort by Victor Bush to get a first down at the 38-yard line.
Clock continues to run now. Fourth quarter, 9:30 left.
So on first down, we're going back to play action. Looking deep, throwing one out there. Hale back, ball caught, touchdown. Lobos' third touchdown reception of the night for Jalen Hale. And it's 34-21 with 9:18 left to play in the fourth quarter.
I tell you what, Jalen Hale's a quarterback's best friend right there. You can underthrow it, you can do whatever you do. He makes you look good. That time, underthrown ball once again. Hale just eases on the break, lets the ball come to him, and somehow finds a way to the end zone once again.
I think he's a little important. 3 catches, 113 yards, 3 touchdowns. Point after from Fields, up and good. 35-21 with 9:18 left to play here on Longview Game Day.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At R&J Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond Seed. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Snap into savings with R&J Trailers. Don't pass up on the deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com. We've got the hookup.
9:18 left to play. Let's just show you again the touchdown catch for Jalen Hale, his third of the night. This one from 38 yards away. And get you some of this.
Just play action out of the eye. Nobody was fooled, but it comes down to number 8, and he just goes and gets the ball.
Dylan Galloway is going to have nightmares tonight. It's like the magic 8 ball. What are you going to get? He keeps getting touchdown Hale.
Well, hell will hit you hard sometimes, and that came down on you. And I tell you what, he's just a special player. It's fun to watch him week in, week out. He continues to make plays. He just, when the ball's in the air, he has just a knack to find it and reel it in.
21 career touchdown receptions. Goodbye, Malcolm Kelly. He's now 1 away from Jalen Brown for the number 2 spot. Kickoff down to the 10 by Fields, and they'll get to the 22, and that's where West Mesquite has 9:13 left to figure out something. Down 2 scores with Laundry on the field again.
Yeah, that may be on the sideline. That came from the line judge here on the near side, and I'm sensing he may have heard something he didn't want to hear. So let's see what the call is. He's going to go spot the ball and go tell the white hat that I think he's thrown some laundry on the coach's staff over here.
Yeah, Coach Sandoval's been a little salty since the call on the movement on the punt on 4th down and 10.
We may have
earlier.
2 flags on this play because there's a lot of discussion going on over on the far side as well. We'll see exactly what they have. If it is on the sideline, it'll be of the dead ball variety.
Well, there's a flag on the near side at the 22 and a flag on the far side at the 20. So we got flags on both sides, and the officials who have had a rough 4th quarter so far, and we're only 3 minutes into it, are having to sort this one out.
Now let's see what they've got on the far side. Coach King's getting the first explanation because of the proximity. Then we're going to come over here and see, looks like the white hat is trying to get his speaker ready. The Wranglers are at the line of scrimmage, but who knows where this line of scrimmage is going to actually originate if we're going to get some all-set penalties.
Yeah. Well, here we're going to go. Unsportsmanlike conduct. That's going to be on West Mesquite. And unsportsmanlike conduct on the Lobos. So everybody's going to be back where they are. Oh.
You had one on the field, you had one on the sideline.
There you go.
And so both of them are, you only get to keep one. They're both, half the distance to the go. And so Coach Sandoval's had his say. One of his players, number 4, looks like got into a little something on the field. And it's still just 1st and 10, but.
Back at the 11-yard line.
They may have accessed both of those.
Well, one because it may be dead ball
I was
after
say,
the fact.
if one was during the play and one was dead ball, they went ahead and put both penalties on them. That's true.
So all the way back to the 5-yard line, where it's going to be first down for Mesquite at the 5. First down and 10, and oh boy, quarterback wishes he would have handed that off. We saw Jeremiah Rugley last week with almost an identical play, and this time he destroys West Mesquite's quarterback, Craig Dale, and it's going to be 2nd down back at the 2-yard line. Look at this.
We'll see the replay here. They'd run this play earlier where they faked the handoff on the jet sweep, and the quarterback keeps it. This time, never had a chance to run. He simply got run over by Rugley.
Rugley, who had 9 tackles, 2.5 sacks last week, gets in the highlight reel here in the 4th quarter with 8:35 left to play in the game. 2nd down and 13 at the 2 now. And Craig Dale's standing in his end zone, and almost everybody that's on his team is too. And this time he gets rid of it and hands it off at the last second, and there's going to be another flag. This one's going to be assessed against the Lobos as Jeremiah Bragg. Looks like was that Bragg 5 or was that 6 Nelson?
That may have been Willie Nelson.
Yeah,
got the
6.
face mask there. Same play they'd run before. This time they went ahead and gave it to the back on the jet sweep. Broke the initial line of scrimmage, gets into the secondary. Nelson's got to get over on him. Unfortunately, gets a hold of the face mask. And Now the Wranglers are going to get some relief as they're going to get a 15-yard face mask penalty.
Yikes. This has been I'm sure I don't have all of the penalties recorded, and that's probably a good thing.
Looks like Cowboys Chargers.
Yeah. First down for the Wranglers. They're going to hand off to Corona, 33-yard line, gain of about 8, and it's second down and 2.
If that looked like same play the opposite direction, you'd be correct. They just simply ran it the other way, saw a little something they liked, decided to go back with it. A lot of that's based on where your hash marks are, where the ball is on the hash mark. That time on the right hash, they had the full side of the field to run it on.
So it's going to bring up second down and a yard at the 33-yard line. 7:44 to play, 35-21, Lobos with the lead. As they're trying to hang on to this thing. Empty backfield now for Dale. Man in motion. They've been doing this a few times. They found a little something they like. Throw left side, caught. That's Turner. Escorted out of bounds at the 43-yard line, but a first down.
Trying to make Turner an honorary member of the Lobos over there as they drive him into the bench, and he disappeared among a sea of green and white. But you kind of sense this is allowing the Wranglers to open up their offense a little bit. They've been mostly run-oriented out of this spread. Right now, I expect to see them throw the ball a little more.
Well, they're running out of time. They're going to have to do something a little quicker, a little faster, obviously. 43-yard line. This time the quarterback's going to keep it. He got Rugley going after the jet sweeper. Ball comes out, and it looks as though maybe the Wranglers, well, did they lose the thing?
I think they lost the
sure
football.
Enough. Who came out with it?
Tell you what,
Sublett came out of there with it.
Big hit on the play. Quarterback breaks through the line of scrimmage, gets hammered. The ball pops out about 4 or 5 yards away from the quarterback as Dale just gets blown up.
Here's your replay of it. Dale got hit hard. 2 or 3 guys at the 47-yard line. I didn't realize that ball had popped out of there until after Sublett's falling out and coming out with the little pigskin, and it's first down for the Lobos, and we got a timeout on the field with 7:11 left to play.
Tell you what, it's time to put this one away. If you're the Lobos, if you can punch this thing in for 7, you can start the bus. It's been a kind of a weird night here in Mesquite on a Thursday night as Lobos jump out early. You think this thing's going to be a blowout. Now they come out here in the second half, have a couple of unanswered touchdowns to get a little cushion, and just a huge play that time as they're able to force Dale and the Wranglers into turning the ball over.
Lots of penalties in this last few minutes, a bunch of unsportsmanlike. But as all of it's being sorted through, the Lobos have the ball at the 48-yard line.
You wonder if he thinks about going for the jugular right here.
Do you have to think about that?
Well, you think about, you got Hale in the slot. Let's see if he tries to send him down the middle of the field on the safety.
On first down, Allen handoff to Lewis. Lewis going to the sideline. This is the 30. It's the 20. He's got one man to beat, and he's done it with 7:02 left to play in the ball game, and it's 41-21 Lobos.
All night long, they've made their living on that left side when they've run out of the eye. I thought they might go play action. They just said, let's put it on the ground, see what we can do, and what they did was a lot. Because Jared Lewis, who's had a nice game tonight, we talked about at the start of the broadcast, no Tatum again this week. That young man's filled in nicely.
You're not kidding. Touchdown, 48 yards. Lobos have had big plays in this game. Big plays meaning 20-plus yard gains, and they've gotten another one. Fields on for the point after try with exactly 7 minutes left to play. They've doubled up the Wranglers, 42-21 here on game day.
Howdy, East Texas. Neil McCoy here for Patterson Nissan in Longview, home of the free lifetime warranty. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle has never been easier. Just head over to PattersonCars.com and you'll find over 1,400 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, many certified pre-owned and backed by the Patterson Lifetime Warranty. And you can buy with confidence because each one has to pass a 167-point inspection before it's listed for sale. Log on and find your new-to-you pre-owned car, truck, or SUV at PattersonCars.com.
A quick turn of events, 42-21. Let's show you the touchdown run by senior Jarrett Lewis.
Well, we talked about how good they've been on that left side of the line tonight. That time they actually went right side and came back to the left. I didn't realize that as the play happened live. He started right, came back to the left, and just took it to the house.
Since Taylor Tatum's gone out 3 weeks ago, all Jarrett Lewis has done is game 1 of this substitution, 8 carries, 109 yards. Game 2, 18 carries, 132 yards. Tonight, 17 carries, 108 yards.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago, that was just in the second half.
Here comes the kick by Fields. Oh, inside the 5-yard line down to about the 2, and that's going to be brought out 20. 25 and banged out of bounds at the 30-yard line. The combination of Braggs and Nelson on the tackle for the Lobos with 6:51 left to play.
Yeah, get a lot of whistles on the far side over there. I didn't see any laundry, but that doesn't mean one wasn't thrown. Let's see if they were able to run this kickoff clean or what we have. It looks like we've got a conversation. We may have had some extracurricular activity as that thing got out of bounds over there.
Let's see if we're going to have another mark off. Now they're going to put it down the 30. They're just going to say that's all. 30-yard line, that's where West Mesquite will start. They have been shut out in this second half after they got down 14-0.
Yeah, where Longview's lining up, it looks like they thought something had happened.
They tied the game at halftime 21-all, and the Lobos have just taken control in the second half. And with 6:51 left to play, they'll go back on defense, 1st down and 10 at the 30. Needing scores quickly. West Mesquite can throw the football. A little bobble on the exchange. Another interception. Chase Smith with it at the 39-yard line. He's got a chance to take this to the house, but he gets run down from behind and caught by the quarterback Dale at the 38-yard line. But the Lobos have the ball again.
Not bad. Chase Smith, we'll watch the replay on this. Quarterback got pretty good pressure that time. We saw a week ago when Longview can pin their ears back, they've got an excellent pass rush. Just like in the second half against Bryant, they bring the heat, and the quarterback wilted, overthrew the ball, and Chase Smith was right there.
Lobo ball at the 36-yard line after the 29-yard return, and they're right back in business again.
6:35 left. You figure they just want to run some clock here.
Give them a full game. You can't count it just a quarter or just a half. Let them play their full game, and Lobos have done that. Handoff Lewis to the 30, gain of 6, 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, we're going to have another penalty late. 67 for Longview. Blair Williams got tied up with one of the defenders. I don't know who they're going to call this on. If they get Blair for maybe getting his hands on him and held him, or if it's a late hit on the defender. No, it's going to be the hold.
Spot foul hold, so they'll mark it off from the 30 back to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's way back there. That spot's actually the 42.
Well, then they'll go back from the line of scrimmage because it was actually behind the line. So it's just a 10-yard penalty. And it'll be 1st down and 20.
Once again, if you're Longview, you're most interested in keeping that clock moving. That play was slowed for a moment by the penalty. Clock's been restarted. Now dropping down around 6 minutes to go here in the 4th.
So 1st and 20 at the 46. Going up top again. Trying to get there. We're going to have a pass interference call as it was Hamilton, the intended target. And a little too much physicality by the defensive back over there for West Mesquite. I think it's John O'Carroll, and it's going to bring a 1st down for the Lobos.
Yes, after the big loss on the penalty, they're going to catch a break here, as that's going to be an automatic 1st down for them. We got a man down. I can't tell if that's the QB there, if that's Jordan Allen who's down. We talked about we may see the sophomore quarterback. I do not see Allen over by the coach, so that may be Jordan Allen there on the field. John King's going to come out and check on his QB there.
And we do not have Josh Thomas. That means Andrew Tutt is the backup quarterback. And you can see the sophomore grabbing a couple of center snaps from Tavion Morgan, getting himself ready on the far side of the field. First, we got to mark off all that's going on. They'll move the chains. After the pass interference call, it should set the thing up at the 31-yard line, and it is.
Coach King doesn't seem overly concerned there. He comes up, talks to Allen, goes back and reminds his offensive line it's their job to protect that young man.
Yeah. Don't let him get hit.
Yeah.
We're already down a quarterback. So Allen's up.
So how does this conversation go with his backup? King, Tut, how do we do this one?
What do you mean?
Well, when Coach King talks to Tut, is it King,
Tut?
Tut?
That's
How are we
very
gonna
cute.
How are we going to work that out?
That's very cute. I like that.
Only we had a strobe light.
Oh, that would be amazing. All right. So we get our third quarterback of the year in a ball game. As sophomore Andrew Tutt, who's been working for this week. They knew Josh Thomas wasn't going to be available. And on first down, whoa, we got a little quarterback handoff exchange issues with Jarrett Lewis. And John King probably just lost his breakfast.
Yeah, I don't know about that. McFarland was in there at the fullback that time. Maybe the first time we've seen him in there tonight before 25 at fullback.
We have not.
So getting some fresh bodies in there, get some touches here late in this ball game. Trying to see, may have some fresh meat on the offensive line as well.
It's a loss back to the 35-yard line. So we'll get second down and 14. And we'll have a whistle.
Jumped on that play. He was a little antsy. He was going to get the handoff. I talked about on the last play, McFarland was in there that time. He just fired off a little too quick. Almost got there too quick for the handoff.
Well, we say all that. They hadn't marked anything. I'm wondering if Longview didn't get a timeout
They
beforehand.
may have got a timeout.
I think they saw what was going on and decided to take the timeout. And, 5:19 left to play, 42-21. Hey, a reminder, Lobos are back in action at home next week. They're going to take on Wiley East back on Friday night, so we'll be back at the friendly confines of Lobos Stadium next Friday, setting up for a week from Friday. We come back to the Metroplex when we come a-calling on the Scots of Highland Park.
Well, I think that's band night at Highland Park. They'll be serving barbecue.
Oh, will they?
That's what I was told this week. So may not be as good as that roast beef and schoolhouse mashed potatoes we had tonight. But nonetheless, if you bring your $10, you get a plate of barbecue at the Highland Park game.
Second down, 14. 3 receivers split. Jordan Allen back in the game. With him in the backfield, and Travion McFarland. And we got another flag. 6 seconds, we're still on the play clock, so it's not delay.
I think the center may have shuffled the ball. We said there may be some new personnel on that offensive line. Let's see if we can get a number on who the center is right now. He may have got a little antsy and picked the ball up. Let's see. He'll turn around. 71. Has he been in tonight? Is it Tavion Morgan?
Tavion Morgan's been the center all night. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's our guy.
All right, that may have been Tavion get a little antsy.
Well, it's good to see DeQuaylen Vaughn back into the game. We had him out from injuries a couple weeks ago. And we're expecting soon Christopher Clodfelter's getting ready to get back in here. He hasn't played yet this season because of injuries, but apparently he's getting closer. So that's another big body you're starting to think about adding to the mix. Allen rolling, throwing, caught, Hale, 24-yard line. It's kind of a disappointment. His first catch he's had, it wasn't a touchdown.
Well, it wasn't even a first down, but still a great executed out pattern. Good rollout to the right. Let's look at that again. You'll get to see Allen's mobility. Never gets his feet set. Throws off the back foot just like you coach him not to. But nonetheless, he hits him in stride.
So it'll bring up third down and 3. Again, the numbers on Hale are almost getting stupid. It's 5 catches, 129 yards, and 3 scores.
Allen goes over and gets the play from Coach King.
And let's do that about Allen as well. 10 of 14, 217. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Third down, 3 now. deep back, little collision in the backfield, and it's going to be Allen keeping it around the far side. He's to the goal line, and it's 48-21 with 5:04 left to play in the game.
Well, he went across the goal line like he was breaking the tape on a track event, but a good job that time. We talked about option number 2. You fake the dive play, you pull it out. That time when he pulled the ball out, there was really nobody out there, and he just rambled on into the end zone.
After a couple of sacks tonight, Allen now 7 carries. He's got 2 yards. He's got 2 touchdowns. The sacks kind of knocked a lot of that yardage off. 48-21, all Lobos in the second half. They're going to make it if Fields can pop this one through, and he does a 28-0 run. We said at the top of the broadcast, second quarter a year ago was the difference. Tonight it's been the second half. We'll take a break. Back in 30 seconds here on Game.
Over the last 10 years, our office has achieved many record verdicts and settlements. Our commitment has always been to outwork and outfight any opponent we have in whatever courtroom we find ourselves in.
At Godarzi & Young, we have settlements and verdicts that are unmatched. Whether you come face to face with the corporation or the insurance company, they know that if they don't justly compensate our clients, they're going to have to face the Godarzi & Young trial team in the courtroom.
All right, back on game day. 5:04 left to play in the ball game. Let's take a look at Jordan Allen's latest score.
You'll see him fake the dive up the middle to McFarland, almost contact between he and the running back. Then it's just off to the races and the sprinter finish.
You know, it makes you wonder if the defense believed that little contact was a ball on the ground or if it was a chance to maybe stop McFarland before he goes anywhere. And I bet it knocked some of them off their attention on where the quarterback potentially was.
I think if you go back and tell your coach that, he's going to tell you to tackle both of them.
All right, Fields back on. 5:04 left. Busy man, Michael Fields. This one's going to go over the head of the return man, and it stays in the field at the 2-yard line. Turner's going to have a long way to go, but he's now got the corner and manages to take this down the sideline. Got one guy to beat, that's the kicker. And they'll run him down from behind as he ran out of gas. Kylan Sublett finally came back and got him and turns what should have been a terrible play by the return man into a 75-yard kick return. First down and 10 for the Wranglers at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, and Michael Fields just had the loneliest moment in sports. When you're the kicker and you're one-on-one with the return man, it's a lonely moment. That's all I can say. You know, you never look forward to that interaction if you're the kicker.
Yep, it's a 75-yard return, and it's first down and 10 for West Mesquite. It all started bad. That's one of those where you go, no, yeah, go. And he thought the ball was going to skip into the end zone. It just did not.
I think the Longview coverage team thought the same.
Yeah, first down now. Quarterback rolling. Got a man, tosses it, caught. That's going to be down the sideline and finally knocked out of bounds by Willie Nelson on the catch. Jesus Nino gets it inside the 10 to, they'll say, the 6-yard line, where it's a gain of 15 and a first down.
If you are a college football coach and you're watching this tonight, you need to call Longview High School tomorrow to get the mailing address and start sending letters to Willie Nelson. That kid can flat play some corner, and he's very physical.
It's a first down. Clock rolling, 4.5 to play. Dale back to pass. Now he's going to pick it up and roll, and he lost the football, and the Lobos have it at the 9-yard line. Sublett poked it out of there, and falling on it at the 9-yard line is Caden Brooks. And the Lobos dodge an attempted score by the Wranglers, and with 4:25 left to play, they've got the ball again.
2 second-half turnovers for Dale is going to spell doom for the Wranglers. Here, we'll watch it again here on the replay. Dale in the zone read formation there. Backs up, just quarterback draw looks like, and just loses the handle on it.
And I think we got another penalty on the Lobos, pushes the ball back to the 3-yard line.
Too much celebration.
Yeah, a little bit too much happiness. We don't want joy.
No, they got the ball. They So they changed the call on that. I didn't see that on the replay, but either way, Wrangler ball here.
How did that happen? Well, it's first down, and now there's a touchdown because there's Jesus Nino with the catch from 7 yards. How did that happen?
I don't know, but that's the shortest wheel route I've ever seen. I think that's about a wheel off of a mini bike, but we're not sure what happened. We thought the Lobos had the ball.
Did he have
We even watched the replay. Maybe that was the case. We may get a second look at it, but either way, Wranglers go back on the field in time to score, and they will cut the thing back down to a couple scores.
All right, well, point after try coming. Here is Oscar Valles, the kicker. Nino's the holder. Kick is up, gets it in to make it 49-28.
Let me correct my math. It's still a 3-score ball game.
Well, let's go back and look at this again. See if we can't go back to the fumble.
All right, here we go on the replay. Let's see what the call was here. Dale's back. We know the ball's going to come out. Let's look and see at what point does it come out.
Yeah,
it's out clearly.
It sure looked like he was.
Yeah, I didn't see anything there that made me change my mind that they got it right the first time. Long explanation on the far side with the Longview coaching staff.
Yeah,
they still don't understand what the call was.
John King's going to be looking at our replay and probably some of his own tonight to see if he can get a better angle that maybe indicated where that knee went down, because it sure did not look like the knee was down. But the officials jumped on that and called it a possession still for the Wranglers. So what looked like Longview was going to dodge a touchdown there after the long return. Instead, Wranglers punched one more in to make it a 49-28 ball game. There's still 4:17 left to play, so get ready for the onside kicks.
I was going to say, Lobos have their hands team out there. It's receivers and backs, people used to handling the football. They've only got the one-man back. Looks like Taylor may be back for them. He's kind of moving around just in case they decide to pooch it. Looks like Hale's backed up a step or two just in case he needs to backpedal.
And they're going with the hard kick, and he kicked it right to Chase Smith, who falls on it at the 50-yard line, and that's exactly what you want if you're the Lobos. Kick it right to my guy can catch it, our ball.
Smith, who had the interception earlier to help change the direction of this ball game, gets on that easy enough, and 4:17 left, 21-point lead. I don't think you're looking for 50 points here, but you're going to continue to execute your offense. Looks like the starters are back in there.
So first down and 10, 50-yard line, 4:17 left. The Wranglers are still with the 3 timeouts, so they can stop the clock a bunch on this drive and try to force a punt. It's incumbent upon the Lobos to get a first down or two. So let's go first down, Lewis, and nothing. Yard maybe, second down and 9.
That's as tight a formation as we've seen Longview run all night. Hale wasn't even in the ball game on first down. They're going to bring him in here on 2nd and 9 to at least keep the try to loosen up that Wrangler defense. That time they had a man split about 2 yards out, and that was it. Nearly always they have one, oftentimes 2 receivers out away from the line. That time that was not the case.
A second down and 9. Lobos taking all the time they want here.
Tell you what, they've got Hale by himself over there.
Mesquite showing no sign of stopping the clock. They'll hand it to Lewis again, and Lewis will rumble to the 41-yard line. That's exactly where he needed to be, and they should be moving the chains.
Tell you what, they're going to be susceptible. No, it's a little short. Figure they're going to run it on 3rd and short. They want this clock to continue to run. It's about 3:15 left here in the 4th. They're going to take Hale out here. Like I say, we expect them to run, but don't be surprised if they put Hale back in there on the next play after the first. They look at him downfield.
Aquarius Cooper checking in now for the Lobos. Let's go back on the rushing totals for Mr. Lewis. 20 carries, 113 yards now. 3rd down, less than a yard. We'll go back to him again. He got hit in the backfield. He lost a football. Boy, let's see if they're going to call that one down.
I don't think so. I think that ball, he just ran into the player and the ball popped out.
Oh, man.
We'll look at the replay here. That looked like a pretty easy call to make. And
Willie Williams with his 2nd fumble recovery of the game for the Wranglers. Here you go. Let's watch the replay. Hand off to Lewis. Boy, he got hit immediately.
Well, I said that. looking at the replay, I'm not so sure if the ball didn't come out on contact with the ground. Great replay that time by Frank and the boys. And if the booth was working up here tonight to look at it again, I think they'd take a minute or two on that one.
Well, they're not. Their ball, 44-yard line. First down and 10. They didn't have to burn any timeouts, and they got the ball right back again. Here's Dale back to pass, looking sideline, throwing one up. Boy, that's an easy catch for Smith, who's looking a lateral and decides against it at the 35-yard line, but he's got his second pick of the night.
Yeah, I thought for a moment he was just going to call a fair catch. That thing was such an easy interception. If he continues to play ball for the next 20 years, he may never have one as easy as that one. But Chase Smith just settled under it. We're going to keep it here and keep rolling here. Let's see if we get the replay here.
Smith's just back there playing center field. He's camped underneath that thing.
That looked like playing batting practice center field.
2 picks for Chase tonight.
Yeah, he also had the big recovery on the onside kick while ago.
That's true.
Good second half for Chase Smith.
That's a good point. And remember, he's out there playing that position as we've lost to Darian Boone for a couple of weeks. Handoff, first down, Lewis. Lewis going to break this one, and he's off to the races. The 30, they're not going to catch him. All the way to the end zone. 65-yard score. I'll take your fumble, and I'll trump it with a 65-yard touchdown run, and it's 55-28 Lobos.
Well, Lewis and Clark may have needed a guide. He didn't. He saw a lot of turf, and he just took off, knew his way to the house, and that time Jarrett Lewis just made it look like a simple game.
Well, the Lobos weren't happy about the fumble. Certainly Jarrett Lewis wasn't, and he made amends. What fumble? I didn't see any fumble. There was no stinking fumble. Point after up and good. 56-28. Let's take a break. We'll come right back to game day.
It's a new season. And at Sport Clips, all of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips, it's good to be a guy.
.218 left to play. Let's let you see the 65-yard touchdown run and just enjoy the magic of Jarrett Lewis.
Quick feet's what we're going to witness here as he breaks out open and quickly finds that extra gear, and nobody on the Wranglers were going to be able to chase him down.
177 yards, 22 carries, and 3 touchdowns.
That's a big night. That's
a pretty good night. We do those last 3 weeks. We told you earlier he had 132 and 109. I'm doing quick math here. 299, 408 in 3 weeks worth of taking over the position for an injured Taylor Tatum.
I'll tell you what, if you've watched film all 4 weeks on this ball club and you're getting ready to face him in the future, you're thinking, boy, when Tatum comes back, they've got a lot of options.
Yeah. There's Michael Fields. He's going to need a rest, and it bounces it off of one of the Wranglers. That's number 7, Isaac Sandoval. The coach's kid got hit by that ball as he was starting to go back to try to block, and it banged right off his hip. And luckily for the Wranglers, they recovered that themselves at the 45-yard line.
If you're Isaac, you don't want to go back over and see Dad if the ball just went off your backside to the other team. But right now, it is a matter of just rooting run clock run, and 56-28. You kind of had a feeling early in this one it could be a blowout. We both thought in the fourth quarter at 14-0, this had all the signs of a blowout, and then we look up and it's 21-all at the half. Sometimes blowout have a different way of developing.
Yeah, it has been an impressive second half, 35-7 second half for the Lobos. And on first down, 45-yard line, back to the air. Dale rolling, getting in trouble. Tries to throw one and smartly throws it away into his own bench. And it'll be second down and 10 as the combination of two big guys chasing him down. Those two are Ethan Pulte, who was a little bit banged up and wasn't going to start today. He's back there, as well as, who else was on the chase that time? Zarius Shepard.
Tell you what, you bring up the subject of Lobos in the second half. This makes 3 weeks in a row that they've just taken over ball games in the second half. We'll come back to that after the play.
Second down, little inside attempt, and Lobos sniffed that out in a hurry.
Shovel pass did not work that time as they try to go inside. But you go back a couple of weeks to Legacy, without the services of Tatum, they're able to kind of salt that one away in the second half. And then we talk about a week ago against Bryant, after Thomas leaves the game, they kind of go run-oriented and just salt the thing away with a late score by Bryant. I thought made it look a little closer than it really was in the second half. And then tonight, it's just been a manhandling of the Wranglers in the second half.
There's Devin Isaac and Caleb Woolridge on the tackle. Here on third down, they're going to go hang one out deep and overthrowing the intended target, Craig Dale. Now it's fourth down.
We talked about early in this second half taking the slant pattern away. Here, that had been their go-to pass pattern in the first half. They'd run 3 different slants to a couple of different receivers that looked really good. We talked about early in the second half, kind of rolled the safety over to take that away. They haven't been able to come back to it.
We remind you Highland Park is off this week. Of course, we're the Thursday game, which means we have no scores to report to you, but we can tell you, of course, that tomorrow night Sherman's at Wiley East and McKinney North is at Tyler. And McKinney North has just fallen on hard times after being really good for a couple of years. Now they're really struggling.
That's a ball club that's got a bunch of numbers at the high school, and they have struggled.
All right, so on fourth down, minute 19 left to play, and it looks as though the Wranglers are going to not take all the timeouts home with them. So we'll get a timeout real quickly by West Mesquite with 1:19 left to play. We'll just keep it here.
Well, you wonder why they would call timeout here. This is probably a teaching moment for Coach Sandoval. Remember, he's only been here. Was this his second year?
Yes.
He's still trying to develop a program, and so he's going to bring his young men over here, talk about, next week, talk about this is just week 1 in district. 4 teams make the playoffs. It's just a coaching moment for he and his staff to get them over here to the sideline and talk about how they're going to do business going forward.
What they're feeling right now through 5 weeks is they're having struggle closing.
Yes.
They couldn't close against Petite. They couldn't close against Timber Creek last week. They lost a big lead in that game. Here they got down early, came back and tied, and then found the same problem. They couldn't close. Whether it's numbers, whether it's conditioning, whether it's experience, whether it's having the sense of I know I'm going to win, whatever it is. Right now, they're trying to figure that part out. So fourth down and 11, 1:19 left to play. This could be a last offensive snap for them. They're going to throw a little screen back the other way. That one's caught by Corona, and that's all. 2 yards, sniffed out, thrown down. Woolridge, the big man, chasing that down and ending the drive, and it should be a couple of snaps for the Lobos to go home with a win.
Yeah, pretty impressive play that time by Caleb. He's the end on that far side, and he reads that early, and his pursuit is enough to get him from the back side. So pretty impressive play. It's that time to start taking a knee and start thinking about having maybe a day off if you're the Lobos. You think they get a day off since they played on a Thursday?
I don't know. If coach is looking at turnovers and penalties, probably not. They may be walking part of the way home. And there's a snap and a knee by Jordan Allen, and they'll get a couple more of those, and that will put an end to this one. So while they're doing that, we'll give you some stats as we go through the evening. This is how West Mesquite lined up. 12 first downs, 118 yards on the ground, 145 through the air, so 263 yards of total offense. I've got 9 penalties. It probably is more than that, 9 for 70 yards. They were 2 of 13 on third down conversions and had 4 interceptions and 1 lost fumble. For the Lobos, 263 on the ground, 217 through the air. That's 480 yards of offense. 10 of 14 throwing the football. They had 16 penalties, 134 yards, 3 touchdown passes, 1 interception. They had 2 fumbles on the ground. They lost both of those. And they're going to go out of here. Oh, by the way, they were 3 of 11 on third downs, but they're going to go out of here with a 56-28 win, 4-1 record now, and primed to go back home, faced Wiley East next week, and hopefully walk out of that one with a 2-0 district record and a showdown with Highland Park.
Tell you what, impressive win, short-handed, missing a lot of folks, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. Missing, once again, this week, 2 key components on both sides, Boone on defense, Tatum on offense. But tell you what, Jared Lewis is so impressive. I'm sure Tatum's chomping at the bit to get back on the field.
Yeah. We'll give you quickly the rundown for the Lobos tonight. Jordan Allen, 10 of 14, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Jalen Hale, 5 catches for 129 yards and 3 scores. Kalen Taylor had 1 for 26. Isaiah Harris, 1 for 18. Victor Bush, 1 for 15. Jaquarius Cooper, 1 for 15. And Jardavian Wright, 1 for 14. Running the football, 22 carries, 177 yards, 3 touchdowns for Jarrett Lewis. Isaiah Harris had 12 carries for 84 yards. And Jordan Allen had 2 touchdowns tonight, one from close in, one from a little further out. And the Lobos win going away tonight. On the other side, Dale was 9 carries, 63 yards to lead the way. Running the football, he was 10 of 22 for 145 yards. He threw a couple of touchdowns. And ended up with 3 interceptions. Of course, the other one was thrown by Corona on that pass back that ended up resulting in that. 4 catches for 75 yards for TJ Turner to lead the way for West Mesquite catching the football tonight.
And while you were doing some stats, Frank and the gang giving you some replays of some of the highlights tonight. Big win for Lobos on the road on a Thursday night at Mesquite Memorial, and it'd be a good I don't think many folks will be sleeping on the way home, at least not those on the bus. I think there will be a celebratory mood on the Lobo bus this evening.
I know. I'm not sleeping on the way home. I got to drive home.
Yeah, I'm going over here to the Park Cities tonight.
Yeah, nice.
Go to bed.
Nice. Well, it's a big win, a very big win. Bad couple of minutes in the end of the second quarter. Other than that, it was really 3 quarters of pretty darn good football for the Lobos tonight, and you could argue they weren't clean. They had some turnovers, they had some penalties. They overcame that with some makeshift players in positions that they weren't expecting as we started the week, but they get the win nonetheless, and we'll take that.
Yeah, right now the team's over celebrating with the band and drill team. Is a little bit of school song here. Coach King's young men get to go over there and enjoy that, and get ready to get on the bus and get on back to Gregg County.
All right, well, hopefully next week we get back some bodies. Darian Boone may be back next week, Josh Thomas, maybe Taylor Tatum, and we'll get full complement of potential weapons as we get ready to take on Wiley East. We're going to be back on the air next week. It's a 7:30 kickoff back at Longview's Lobo Stadium, so expect the pregame starting around 6:30 and kickoff at 7:30 next Friday night. For Tony Kirk, I'm Chuck Zach. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember to tell your friends, share, like, be part of what we're doing here at Longview Game Day. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys take care. Have a good night, and so long, everybody.